everybody, and welcome to Absolutely Lower League. This is a show dedicated to everything lower league, from the EFL Championship, League One, League Two, and of course the National League, because we've got to now, because I'm on. But obviously there's a lot of football to get through, especially with it being a double game week, so I couldn't get through it alone. So we have got Scoops. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. It's been a good couple of days for me in the sporting world, so
All
absolutely
right.
pumped, mate. Absolutely pumped.
Calm down.
Sorry, I know. It's only another 43 games to go. I know. But,
It's looking good, though. It's looking good.
yeah, I know. Nosebleed started already, so.
And it's not just me and you. We've got Nick as well. How are you, Nick?
Yeah, really well. Obviously, a good busy week for football. Plenty to talk about. Lots of really interesting games. And we got our first win in the season, so all's good.
It's always good, isn't it, getting that first win? And we have all got a win under our belts, all three of us, so not too bad.
Some more than others.
I know. I'm not going to keep talking about it.
Of course you are.
No, I'm not.
Of course you are.
No, I'm not.
We've got some other people in the chat as well. We've got Graham. So, hello, Graham. Thanks for tuning in. A couple
Surely.
more.
Where you end up next? Are you joking me, Sean? Every time he comes into my streams, he goes, "Yeah, Gillingham are rubbish." Yeah, thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Northampton's so much better at the moment. It is really,
Oh, I love it. Well, we've got a lot of football to get through, haven't we? So, should we start with the championship?
Let's crack on with the championship.
Yep, let's crack on, and we'll start with Saturday's game as well. So we're going way back now. So, Nick, do you want to get started with Coventry 3, Middlesbrough 0?
Yeah, that's quite a surprise result, actually. That's a real good win for Coventry after the heartbreaking missing out in the playoffs. And you never know how a team's going to react. So 3-0 win is a cracking result against Middlesbrough, who you would expect to be there or thereabouts. Obviously, it's only early days in the season, but that's a great one. They 1-0 up at half-time from Godden, and looked in pretty much control of the game from what I saw on the highlights. Got a second one on the 70th minute. And I don't quite know what the some people were watching, unless it was me, put the third goal down as an own goal. Well, I watched it 3 or 4 times, and as far as I could see, Godden hit it from the right of the box across the keeper into the far post. So quite out it was given as an own goal.
I don't want to be your VAR, Nick, but there was a big deflection on that one.
Was it?
I can tell you that. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Hang on.
You got the angle.
I better get these tested.
You take my game, Nick, and I'll do this one for you. No,
cheers. Well, yeah, from where I saw it didn't look like it, but the guy shot, so I always give it to the goal scorer. I always give it one. Never mind the own goals, but
it was always on target. It was always on target.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. Yeah, you can't, you won't score unless you have a go. But yeah, cracking result for Coventry. They're first win of the season after getting beaten the first game. So hopefully, they can push on, because they've had a tough time of late. So I'd like to see them do well this season.
Yeah, I think it's been pretty good for Matty Godden as well, wasn't it? Because he, for the first game anyway, was getting a lot of jip, because obviously he had quite a few opportunities against Leicester. And I think you could tell by his first goal, the celebration, straight away he was doing this. And he knew straight away, he was like, yeah, I can hear you talking about me. I know you're giving me jip on Twitter.
Always good to see.
And that's it, isn't it? I think it's like, it's good for him to get the goal, get his confidence up. Because I've always rated Matty Godden, but he's always been in the bit of the shadows of Gyökeres, isn't he? And he's got an opportunity here, but he's got some big players around him with Haji Wright and Ellis Sims. So it's going to be a tough season for him either way. But it's good for him to get his goal. We'll give him the second one as well.
Yeah, I'd give him the second one. Yeah, every time.
What's going on with Michael Carrick's men as well? Because obviously, when he came in last season, he was doing really well, and this season they've just not hit the nail on the head or anything at the minute, have they? We just...
Go on, Nick.
Yeah, it can happen. He said that they've done a number of good things in the game, but it's Cov just had that little bit of extra. Yeah. So again, maybe they're going in overconfident after what they did last season. But as we know, all these leagues, every game is a tough game. So it might take them, a few matches to get fully up to speed again. And but I would imagine they'd be there or thereabouts, like I said. So I can't see them being down the bottom end for too long.
Well, they were quite heavily reliant, weren't they, on the low market last year? They had Cameron Archer in last year, banging in the goals, and obviously Chapper Akpom as well. So they've struggled to replace that this year, and I think it's probably going to be. I don't think it's going to be a tough season, but Carrick's going to be under a lot of pressure after achieving what they did
100%.
last year, especially after when he came in. He achieved a lot with that club, so he's going to be under pressure from the off. So could we be seeing him, give it another couple of months? Could he be the first managerial casualty in the Championship? We'll wait and see how we go on the weekend.
Do you reckon they would? Do you reckon they actually would?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think he overachieved last year.
Yeah.
I think he's a good manager, but again, he's had the opportunity to invest, probably not as much as you'd hoped.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think he'll be one of the players. He'll be under a lot of pressure to achieve something this year. It's a shame we're talking about sackings after 2 weeks.
I was going to say
it is. I know, but you've got clubs there, big clubs in that division, and there's plenty of them under pressure now. So it's an achievement.
In the chat as well, we've got Matt. Have they mentioned Matty Jones is screaming yet?
Matty James is screaming for Bristol City. No, we haven't yet, mate. No,
not yet.
That's somewhere in my notes. I think. Let me get me pages out.
Yeah. Sorry. What team was that? Bristol? Who?
Yeah. We've got quite a few Bristol City fans in here tonight, so it's
plenty of sting coming then.
Yeah, here you go. Go and follow Ocus Road. Go drop us some DMs. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, crack on. I love it.
And while we're on Saturday's games as well, should we mention Hull versus Sheffield Wednesday? Do you want to do that as well, Nick?
Yeah, again, that looked a cracking game. Sheffield Wednesday, probably a bit disappointed with giving 4 goals away, but Tufan got a hat trick, started off with a penalty, and then a couple of decent goals. So, but looked like a 6-goal end-to-end game. Hull City, again, another team you'd expect to do well, but Sheffield, don't know what they're going to do this season. Again, they had it could be there or thereabouts, but you never know with Wednesday. They either seem to be really good or really poor. So 4-2, not great, and they only got their second goal in the 94th minute. So they were probably struggling throughout the game. But yeah, nice little hat trick from Tufan. Couple of good goals besides this penalty. So you get somebody early on getting the goals, and that can push you on to keep the win going.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one for Sheffield Wednesday this season. I think it's they've struggled to invest massively in the transfer window because obviously getting rid of Darren Moore very early. It's just as soon as they got promoted as well, and they've not been able to get SK. He's not even a Sheffield Wednesday fan. He wants to bring Darren Moore back. I think he's probably the only person ever to say bring Darren Moore back to Sheffield Wednesday. I can tell you that from a couple of fans I've spoken to.
We've got this one as well. Sheffield, and then it's Wednesday, please.
That's it, Harrier. That's the one. Make sure you get that thing. Sheffield play in the Northern Premier League, what Division 1? Yes, they do, Harrier. But yeah, like I said, Sheffield Wednesday, I think they'd probably be disappointed to losing that 4-2, sorry, because they did take the lead in the 36th minute, and it was, do you know what? It's one of those ones, a sucker punch goal just on half time, isn't it? That always does it for you.
Yeah.
And, getting that penalty straight on half time. If you're Sheffield Wednesday, you're going in at half time 1-0 up at Hull City, which would be a decent first half. You'll be going, we could do something here. But to concede that, straight away the head's going to drop, trying to keep those players motivated. And there you go. 3 goals in the second half to lose 4-2.
Yeah, like you say, totally changes the halftime team talk.
Does, exactly.
It gives that boost to certainly to the home side and the fans. And then you're straight on it in that second half.
Exactly. But another good win for Hull City anyway. I think people were putting them down as a dark horse this year. They've invested well, and they've got a bit of money, haven't they, with the Turkish owners as well. Yeah. So you could see them being one of those ones, top half to maybe a outside chance of hitting the playoffs. So
without as well upsetting anybody in the chat, going around the room, they were in our preview show as well. I predicted Sheffield Wednesday to be struggling. Do we reckon they will actually go down? Do you think it will be a long season for Sheffield Wednesday?
I think it's going to be a long season for quite a few of the clubs that are coming up. But obviously,
Yeah,
apart
that's
from Ipswich and Plymouth are flying at the moment as well. 2 good games. I know we're only 2 games in. SK's going to be sitting here frothing from the mouth. I was talking about Plymouth in the playoffs. But, it's one of those ones where you look at those 2 sides and, it's a big challenge for them. Sheffield Wednesday are going to be the ones that are going to do probably the worst out of all of them. And the only blessing in disguise for them is there could potentially be worse sides down there, but they're all picking up weird wins, aren't they? Like QPR picked up a big win on Saturday as well, didn't they? But then they lost again the other night. It's a real strange one where you could probably say, you've got Rotherham down there. They're going to be one of the teams down there. Sheffield Wednesday, Huddersfield, and Middlesbrough. I know they haven't scored a goal yet. And that's the thing. And that's what they had last year, wasn't it? With Cameron Archer and Chuba Akron. Yeah. They were banging goals in. If you can't score goals, you're always going to struggle.
Yeah, I think with a lot of teams, home form is going to be crucial. Obviously, Wednesday will get decent crowds. Same with Plymouth. They will get decent crowds. They're always tough to beat at home. So that home form is going to be critical. They need to get a string of wins together and hopefully pick up, the odd points on the road. And I think that'll be the difference between sort of the lower half of the table into the bottom places. So home form again critical, as it is for most sides, but certainly you get decent big crowds at Sheffield Wednesday, and when that place is rocking, it does. So that's going to be a key factor.
Yeah, completely agree. And should we have a look at the rest of Saturday's results? I know obviously we've got a lot to get through, but we'll have a quick look. Everything. So let's get them up. Bear with me because it's the first time I've ever done this, so I am struggling a bit.
So what are we thinking about, just off the topic, what are we thinking about Leeds United at the moment? You've got players there actually refusing to play at the moment, and
I think for
Daniel Farke's got an absolute monstrosity of a job there to try and get them playing, and especially if they can't get a team together at the moment. Is it Janotto? Is it? I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I might be absolutely butchering that. So in the chat, rip me to shreds. He's refusing to play at the moment. And they're just losing players left, right, and centre. And it's Callum Harrison's gone. He's gone to Everton on loan. So it's just Jack Harrison. Sorry, not Callum Harrison. What am I talking about? Jack Harrison. That's what I meant. That's going to be a massive job for Daniel Farke. And to lose against Birmingham City, and it was as well. I think it was a 96th minute penalty as well. And big man.
Yeah, it's Jukovic, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, that's it. And it's big. It's going to be challenging for Leeds this season if they can't get rid of these players, because I think they're holding out for 25 to 30 million. And they've rejected a couple of offers. Sorry, so it's going to be tough for them, and especially if they can't get the players back in as well.
Yeah, I completely agree. Weren't they supposed to be getting a takeover as well? Did it actually happen?
That did happen. It did go. It did go through. Yeah, it's just like you said. Unfortunately, Farke's got they invested heavily in. I think it was midway last season in the Premier League. So a lot of these players that they signed in were preparing to play Premier League football. Yeah. Obviously, the relegation never helps, and then it's not being selfish and being an individual of playing at such a high level. You're going to sit there and go, it's I don't want to be playing Championship football. It's just gonna damage my career. So I'm going to want to move on. So it's really difficult, and I feel sorry for Farke because he's not a bad manager at Championship level. So.
Oh, it's depressing times, though, isn't it? Really depressing times.
Yeah, for Leeds fans, definitely.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting one, isn't it? It's like, if he doesn't get a move and he does come back into the squads, like, how would you feel about being a Leeds fan and seeing that? But, you know what football fans and how fickle they are. If he goes to scores 2 goals to win 2-1, you're his best mates again, aren't you?
100%. Yeah. We're all exactly the same, aren't they? Not one of us, as much as we say we're not one of us can sit here and say that we're not fickle. We really are, aren't we?
Yeah, no, they are. We are some of the worst people in the world, football fans. I'm not
very true. Yeah, very true.
Yep.
And people in the chat are exactly the same.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, that's it.
Who do you reckon's the worst one for it in the chat?
Con real 100%. SK as well. They're all bad as each other, to be fair. So
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, thanks, Con. Appreciate that.
I'm not even going to repeat that.
No, you don't need to repeat that. Thank you, Con.
Moving on. Right, the rest of Saturday's results, obviously we mentioned the Coventry City versus Middlesbrough game. Birmingham City 1, Leeds United 0. Were we expecting that?
No, probably a
No.
Leeds win.
Yeah.
You know, it's a shame it's just a 96th minute winner, you know, a 96th minute penalty. You know, St Andrews rocking like Harry just said in the chat, absolute scenes with Tom Brady in the boozer, having a drinks before. You know, it's great for them as well. And Birmingham are, but you can't sit there and say Birmingham aren't a big club. They are. A lot of history.
Oh yeah, they are.
You know, they are a top half championship side, if not Premier League sides.
Had a difficult time, haven't they, recently as well?
Yeah, they have, and I think everybody would love to see an Aston Villa Birmingham derby in the Premier League again. You know, and it's you know, even Villa fans would love to have that.
even if they won't admit it.
I know, secretly.
Yeah.
Then we've got Cardiff City 1, QPR 2.
That's a great result for QPR.
Big win for Ainsworth, that is. That's a big win for Ainsworth.
Away as well.
Yeah, he needed that. He needed that desperately.
Huddersfield Town 0, Leicester City 1. What we're thinking about Huddersfield, they were one of mine to go down as well, or at least struggle.
Well, it's one of those ones when you look at it again, Huddersfield were actually played really well against Leicester. They looked like they controlled the game more. And again, it's just Leicester City being Leicester. They've nicked it with a 1-0 win. And I know Neil Warnock was very unhappy, but when is he happy? I think if they improve on last season, I know they only stayed up with a game to go, a couple of games to go anyway. If they finish 15th, 14th, 15th, I think they'll be happy with that. Pump it up, Cov City going up. You sound like me, you do. After 2 games.
That made me laugh. Hull City, Sheffield Wednesday, we obviously mentioned. Ipswich Town 2, Stoke City 0. Did we predict Ipswich to have this start? Because I thought they'd do all right, but I didn't expect as well as they've done so far. Do you think they will carry it on?
Go on, Nick, I'll let you have that one.
Yeah, I think they will actually, because again, they've always played decent football, and again, I'll replay the record. Home form again is going to be critical. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not surprised. Again, Stoke are another strange side, aren't they?
Yeah, they
again,
are.
They can go on a run of losing 4 or 5 games, and then equally they'll go and beat somebody who's at the top end of the table that you wouldn't expect them to beat. I can't see Stoke doing much this season, probably bottom half at best. But Ipswich, I think they consolidate, just get into the areas of above halfway, and yeah, I mean they're a decent club, so I expect them to do well. I don't think they'll struggle at all. They'll be safe enough in my book, so I think they'll be okay.
Got a decent manager as well, to be fair, haven't they? Quite a bit of connections, obviously. Was he at Manchester United in the academy or something?
Yeah, he was in the academy set up over at United, and you know it takes a lot for an ex-Norwich City manager in Alex Neil to compliment Stoke City, Ipswich Town, and say after the game he said, "I've never seen football like it in the Championship." So he's obviously doing something right there. He's playing a good standard of football, but like last season, over 100 points. Finishing second just to Plymouth as well. You know, I think they're going to be I unfortunately, and I hate it because they are my local higher up side, only 22 miles away from here. I could see them potentially challenging for playoffs this season and could be the unlikely winners of the playoffs, very similar to Luton last year.
Good shout. Millwall 0, Bristol City 1. I'm guessing was that the screamer? People were just talking about. I've not seen it. I need to watch it.
Well, it was a Matty James, 34-year-old, as Con said, bit of I don't know, could you call it a bicycle kick, a unicycle kick? I don't know. It just looked like he struggled with it, but it went in. He doesn't care. And like you said, they're surprised he actually got up with his hip replacement as well. You know, it's because he's that old. No offense to anyone in here as well. It's just, you know, but he's done well there, and it's a big win for Bristol City as well. So
that is.
Announce promotion. Come on, Matt. Let's not. Come on. It's Thursday night. What are you drinking tonight?
Preston North End 2, Sunderland 1. What is happening to Sunderland? No wonder Ant isn't here today. He doesn't want to come on, does he?
You just imagine it now. He said he's out with his missus. They're sitting over dinner at the over dinner. Sitting there, it's just him sobbing into a candlelit dinner. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going wrong. Oh, just imagine. Poor bloke.
Bless him. Do you reckon it's just a blip for Sunderland? Do you reckon obviously they'll get back on track because they did well last season, didn't they?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Again, I think it was one of those ones where they overachieved last year.
Yeah.
Probably.
Good.
And you know, they did. And to be honest with you, you could probably, I don't know if you agree with me here, Nick, is that I think they got into the playoffs because Blackburn faltered away, didn't they? You know,
yeah, that's right.
And also Millwall last game of the season bottled it massively as well, didn't they? So
yeah,
I think because of the back ends of the seasons for those sides,
if they got quite a young side, Sunderland.
Well, I don't know if Bradley Dack's young anymore, but
well,
it was quite a young side, yeah.
We've got a question as well in the chat. Will Jack Clark stay?
I don't really know who's been interested in Con, to be fair. I know there's been a lot of talk about Jack Clark. Let's have a look. Who's talking about it? He's a decent player. God, that's depressing, isn't it? You see a player born in the year 2000. Is it?
I was nearly going to go all busted then.
Yeah, you think I feel bad? Think how Nick feels. God, I know.
Yeah, God, it's true. I'm talking these.
Come on, I've got to congratulate. I saw Nick you had a big wedding anniversary this week as well, didn't you, mate? As well.
I did.
Congratulations on that as well, mate.
Congratulations, Nick.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah, it was the big golden, but all good.
Well done. Look at that.
All good.
Look at that. But yeah, apparently Burnley have been after him as well. So you know, Burnley are looking at everybody in the Championship half decent size.
Another relying on loan players, aren't they? That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
You know,
got this as well.
I don't know. It's 10 million quid though. They've refused 10 million pounds. So and Everton as well linked to him already. Well, we'll see. I don't know. I don't know.
That's a lot of money to turn down, isn't it?
That is a lot of money.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Oh, he's got a lot of love as well in the chat for Nick. Congrats, Nick.
See, I'm quite a nice
yeah, thanks very much.
I may come across as a bit of that's what Con called me earlier, but I'm not a bad bloke.
I appreciate it all. Cheers.
Next one, Rotherham United 2, Blackburn Rovers 2.
Did you see the sending off for Rotherham United? It was hilarious. It was hilarious.
Go on then, Scoots. Tell us about it.
So I believe he got booked. He just got booked just before. I'm not sure if it was for celebrating. In his celebration, he just got a yellow card, and basically he got fouled. He turned around to the referee, and he's gone like this to him. It looked like he went like that. Okay. To him. I don't know if I'm just reading into this a bit too much, but it looks like he did that. But the referee thought he was going, book him. So literally 2 minutes after getting his first booking, he got a second yellow card for unsportsmanship-like behaviour, got sent off. And then literally they were 2-0 up at that point, drew 2-2. Good point for Blackburn on the road, especially after being 2-0 down.
Yeah, I think we got to get a lot of sending offs in these early weeks of the season, just with the directions they've been given from the FA with the referees. So they're not going to be slow on getting the cards out for sure.
It's like
all these new rules as well, isn't it? It's all these new rules as well.
National League was a joke anyway for sendings off, but honestly, you want to see them like in the first 3 games. It's mental. Next game as well. Southampton 4, Norwich 4. Do you want to talk about that for a bit, Scoops?
Yeah, we'll do. Yeah, what an advert for the Championship that game is, and as well, especially with Russell Martin playing against his old club as well. Where he was a bit of a legend status within his playing days at Norwich. So Norwich took the lead with last season's top goal scorer, Sargent. Good header, actually. A dangerous ball across the box as well, and he's just managed to get out. Josh Sargent doesn't do that at all, but somehow he managed to get above the defender just to take the lead there. Benderek scored an absolute screamer from 3 yards out. I don't know how you can score a screamer from 3 yards out, but he managed to do it. The ball came out, took a deflection. He hit it first time on a half volley, top left. And then, Adam Armstrong, let's talk about him potentially leaving as well this transfer window. And I believe, I don't know if I'm wrong. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they were talking about Coventry and so on. But I know he's played there before. Exactly. Screamer from 3 yards out. Amazing. 100% SK. And then, obviously, got it back to 2-2. This was, just remember as well, this was after 23 minutes it was 2-2. And then Norwich took the lead in the 45 plus 2 to make it 3-2 just before half time. Then Che Adams came out second half to make it 3-3. Then Norwich took the lead again in the 84th minute to make it 4-3. And in the 97th minute, we had another penalty, and it was Alan Armstrong getting his second of the season as well. So yeah, what an advert And I think even Russell Martin thought they nicked it with the last kick of the game, and you could see him; he went absolutely mental. But actually, then found out it went past the post. So some fantastic content there as well. But yeah, good game. Can you probably say two teams that are going to be up there towards or challenging for the playoffs this season? Probably. You know, I think they will be. And I think there's only one team that have beaten Southampton this season so far. So
Who would that be?
I wonder.
let's not talk about it. I'm sick of talking about Gillingham. I'm sick of talking about them. So
Yeah, they're concentrating on the league. They're not worried about the cups.
Yeah, I don't blame them either.
Yeah, like you say, you'd expect them to be there or thereabouts, wouldn't you?
Definitely.
Yeah, both sides. Like I said, Norwich just underachieved last year.
Yeah.
They had a tough start, didn't they, under Dean Smith, didn't they? And then Wagner's a good manager to have. He did well at Huddersfield, didn't he? You can't sit there and criticise. He's a good manager, and I think if he gets it right, he can do really well.
The trouble with Norwich, they're such a yo-yo club, though, aren't they? They're up, win the league, go up in the Prem, get obviously hammered back down, do the same again. So they just don't seem to take that next step of consolidating in the Prem.
There's a couple as well. Yeah, Sheffield United are like them as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they're going to struggle this season, aren't they?
Yeah.
Big time. Not as though we care about the Prem.
I know.
I'm not even going to answer Sean. I'll answer him later in League Two. Save that one from Shawnee till
Bring
League
the comments up.
Still gathering cobwebs. I know, still gathering cobwebs last time I checked. Well, I think the last time we won a trophy was 2012, 2013. So you never know. This year could be the year. We don't know.
And then obviously we had Watford versus Plymouth Argyle, which was 0-0. And
massive result for Plymouth.
Yeah.
Massive result there. Let's just not underline that. That's a great result to go there. Watford looked pretty good in that. And had some good chances, but a great point. SK's in the chat. He was chuffed with that. He travelled all the way from Plymouth to see him play at Watford as well. And I think there was if I'm correct, I think there was around about 2,000 Plymouth fans made the journey from Plymouth to Watford as well. So good shout to them as well.
Yeah, they got a good following. Yeah, and certainly at home. But yeah, they're away following from where they are geographically to the miles they have to travel. They have got a good fan base.
They have, yeah.
Steven Schumacher as well. Like what he's done, is brilliant, isn't it? Really brilliant.
He had a tough job there, didn't he? And
he did.
I think we mentioned that a couple of weeks ago. Is where Ryan Lowe came in and he had to adapt. Ryan Lowe was doing a brilliant job anyway, but for him to then go on and do, especially with the disappointment of the season before as well, missing out on the playoffs on the last day of the season, it was a great result for them last year, and he's doing a fantastic job, and that's why other clubs are looking at him.
Completely agree. And what the last result as well, West Brom 3, Swansea City 2. So I'll speak about that for a bit. I just think this game had pretty much everything. It had an own goal, it had a penalty, and it nearly had a dramatic comeback from Swansea. West Brom dominated the scoreline and went 3-0 up in 64 minutes. A goal from, is it Ajaya? I can't really say his name. An own goal from Rushworth, and then a penalty as well from John Swift. And to be honest, I think most people then would have thought West Brom, they've got the 3-0 win easy from there, but then obviously Swansea came back, and it was a pretty entertaining game by the sounds of it.
Yeah, had a good win for West Brom. They probably needed that to get the season started, and and Swansea's going to be an interesting one. They always seem to be very on and off. Like they go and win a couple of games, they go and lose a few games, go on a bad run and form. I think last season they went on a pretty decent run as well. So, if they get it ticking and get it going, they could be up there. But it's just one of those ones where they're just never there or thereabouts. They're just not far enough.
Haven't they lost some manager as well? Haven't they had a manager change, Swansea?
Yeah, Russell Martin obviously went to Southampton.
That's the one.
And then they've got in...
Was it Barnsley's?
Michael Duff.
That's the one.
Duff.
Yes,
Cheltenham,
I couldn't remember his name
as well. So Michael Duff has taken the job as well. So it's a tough job for him there as well. But I think the board expect them to be mid-table mediocre for this season, and
I think they're like a bunch of clubs that are, like you said, inconsistent. That you put 2 or 3 wins together and then lose 2 or 3. So they'll probably be like a number in and around that halfway spot.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. 2 late goals as well, though, from them. I think it was in 6 minutes or something the goals were scored. So obviously not a great result for them. They obviously lost at West Brom, but it's promising, isn't it? At least they're scoring in this game.
Well, the Corber and West Brom's a tough place to go, isn't he? He's done a good job there.
Is, yeah.
So, he's they should be up there or thereabouts. They missed out on the playoffs last year just because they had a bit of a rubbish start, didn't they? So, they'll be there. There's a lot of teams that are going to be there or thereabouts. I think they're going to be. You could be sitting there with 5 games to go. That from 11th down up to 5th could be in the playoffs at the end of the season, like they was last year. So
yeah,
probably go for the same then.
Yeah, definitely. I know it's early days, but should we have a quick look at the table?
Let's go.
Yep. So we have got top of them all. We've got Ipswich on 6 points, and then obviously Leicester on 6 points as well. Watford, Plymouth, Norwich, Southampton, Blackburn, Preston, Birmingham, Bristol City all on 4. And then we've got Coventry, Hull, Stoke, West Brom, Millwall, QPR all on 3. And then on 1 point, we've got Cardiff, Swansea, Leeds, and Rotherham. And then the rest of them, we've got Sunderland just above the drop. And then we've got Sheffield Wednesday, Huddersfield, and Middlesbrough all on 0.
Should we say some positives for Ant? Well, Sunderland are only 4 points off the playoffs, so you've got loads of time.
Yeah, stay under the radar for a while.
Make him feel a little bit better, bless him. We love you really, Anne. We love you really. I know I'm jealous of Sunderland anyway. I wish we were in that position there, but
yeah, but never mind. You're at the top of the elite game in non-league, so you got to think about it.
That's true.
Couldn't get much worse. So
let's have a look in the chat. We've got Yorkshire relegations on.
Yorkshire.
Then we've got Mr. Luke. Mr. Luke there as well.
He's going to be happy with what we talk about later. Big win for them. Yeah. It's Dagenham and Redbridge, so he's going to be happy, Mr. Luke.
Massive win. Right, should we go to League One now? Because we've got a lot of football to get through, haven't we?
Yeah, let's do it.
So we'll start off with Saturday's games first. So, Nick, do you want to do the Leyton Orient results? Do you want to start off with Portsmouth?
I mean, that's a massive win for Pompey. Leyton Orient pretty much... they had a bit of a dip at the end of the season, but, ran away with the league. Richie Wellens, who decent manager at League 2 level, but seems to struggle at League 1 and to get beat 4-0 at home. And it was quite an eventful game. There's a goal down after 23 minutes. And from the highlights that I saw, had a lot of balls coming in from the right-hand side to the far post that they just couldn't defend. And they had players left open at the back post to, take what looked relatively easy goals. And they conceded a second on 44 minutes, which is an absolute killer. Anybody does that and it just pushes you back. Then to add it to their misery, an own goal in the 51st minute and a 93rd minute penalty. So it didn't go well for them. And to cap it off, and I saw the highlight of it, the assistant manager got sent off talking to the referee after the game that you're not allowed to do. And Wellens, I don't know what he was doing. He walked up to the ref and he was bowing his head. He was doing this to the ref. Red card, off as well. So both the manager and the assistant manager got sent off after the game because apparently the rule is that they cannot approach the referee at half-time or full-time. They have to wait until they're off the pitch and into the ground before they can discuss anything with the referee, which, again, it's gone out to all the clubs. So, doesn't set a great example for the players, does it?
The best part of it, Nick, was the way Richie Wellens reacted to his assistant manager.
Oh,
Did you see that? It was so funny because he's gone red card to the assistant. And then Richie Wellens gone there and goes, no, I just want to talk to you. And he's standing there bowing at him. Going,
that's it.
And then literally, he got the other ref's gone red card. And he just looks at his assistant, just laughed. He went, and walked off. Literally.
I know. Yeah, he's going to get a nice fine for that one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's so
it's
funny. Great reaction though. I know
yeah,
it's not. I know I shouldn't be praising it, but it's a
I know,
fantastic
but it was,
reaction.
yeah, like you say, it was funny. But from Orient for that, obviously, it's coming up another level, and I guess you don't really realise the difference in standards between the leagues, League Two to League One. You know, a lot of people think, well, the top half of League Two and the bottom half of League One is similar, but there is a gap. And for them to lose 4-0 at home after having such a good season in League Two when they, when they took the league, so a bit of a bump down to earth for Orient. So it'll be interesting to see how they go in the next few games, I guess, especially with the manager and the assistant manager sat in the stands. So that'll be fun.
I reckon the ball boy's going to be taking the next game.
Yeah.
That's all they'll have left. So.
That's right. Wellens will be able to blame him then if they get beat.
Yeah, exactly,
so that'll be fine.
It's your fault. No more. See you later.
That's it. Yeah, I told you. So, yeah. But a good, again, anyone who goes away wins 4-0. That's got to give you confidence, a massive boost, and put you on the right track. So, and Pompey, again, they're a club that should be doing better than they do. Good fan, good. I've had horrible times down at Portsmouth, but again, they've got a good fan base. They're very when they're on top, they're very loud and proud. So, but I'd expect them to be better, and they should be higher than League One, to be honest.
Do you reckon it could be Portsmouth's year this year?
Don't know. There's some decent teams in there, so
it's very competitive, isn't it? It's very hard this season.
I think it could be one of their highest finishes in the last few seasons. This year. I think they could be, like you said, just 7th, 8th, nick a 6th place, nick a 5th spot. I think they could definitely be. But like Nick says, there's some big teams in that division, and also as well some teams that are going to overachieve as well.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting. I mean, you got the one that is doing well is Stevenage.
Yeah, fantastic.
But with the big fella, you know what you're going to get. So he's going to do teams over.
I've got a love-hate relationship with him, Nick. So let's not talk about him.
I know. It's right. We hate him as well. So don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's it.
Funny. And then obviously Leyton Orient lost again, didn't they, on this Tuesday against Wickham? Not very good for them.
No, a 3-2 defeat. Again, their defending was really, really poor. Balls coming across the box in players not being picked up. So for Wellens, who usually has quite a tight defence, but it's 3 goals again given away, and the red cards to sorry, it was the red cards were in the Wickham game. I was talking about Pompey, but the red cards were in the Wickham game. But yeah, it's again, he's going to be very disappointed with a 3-2 defeat from Wickham. And again, they're another side that you never know what you're going to get. And certainly when after Ainsworth had left and done such a good job with them, it was always going to be, how are they going to move it forward now, and what are they going to actually do? But that's probably a good win for them, and especially you expect a team that gets beat 4-0 on a Saturday to come out flying from the blocks and have something to prove. But again, another 3 goals conceded, and that's obviously something he's got to put right. Otherwise, they're just going to come straight back down. And I know it's only a few games in, but that's going to be a problem giving goals away like that. You just can't afford to do it. Any decent team, you build it on your defence, don't you? As some of us know here. So,
well, all I was going to say is I think the sign that we made we obviously purchased Shadrach Oji off of Leyton Orient, and a lot of Leyton Orient fans were in disgust about why they sold him. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I can tell you now from the first 3 games, I can tell you why I can completely understand why they're cross about it. He's an absolute elite player. He's only 21 years old. Future potential is massive for him, and it's like the good thing they got 6-figure sum out of us. It was an undisclosed fee, but I understand it's over £100,000 for him. But if he continues playing the way he is at the moment, he's going to be worth a 7-figure sum very soon.
Yeah.
And you look at them and you look at the players, and even Orient fans are now questioning it. We're only 3 games in. I appreciate that, but they're already questioning. It's like, why have we got rid of Oji when our backline is probably not any better now? It's probably worse without him. So it is going to be a really interesting one. And I think maybe will Wellens be a casualty this year? I don't know, because would you have put Leyton Orient up there last year to win the title or to get promoted? Probably not.
No.
So he could be giving time for last season's success. more than anything.
Yeah, I think so, because I don't think that with the people they've got in charge of the club and in the way they run it, I don't think they're going to do a knee jerk reaction. It's probably going to take till Christmas and the transfer window in January to see if they need to do something drastic. But yeah, I can't see there being an issue certainly in the early part of the season, because he is a decent manager. So he obviously does get uptight, as the referee found out with the last game. So, but yeah, it will be interesting to see how they do, because they were good last season. They were a good footballing side. So yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Sam's in the chat as well. Did you see that, Scoops?
I feel like an evangelist there. We're just trying to get people to believe our ways at the moment, and it's spreading. It is spreading.
It didn't just say it once, though. I'm sure he said it twice, and we've got them both on recording. I'm sure it was twice.
We've got it. We've got it on recording. That's it. We're going to share that out.
Speaking of Gillingham as well, but someone who's no longer associated with them, should we get on to Stevenage, Scoops? Stevenage versus Shrewsbury.
Yeah, definitely. Let's talk about Shrewsbury versus Stevenage versus Shrewsbury. A massive result for Stevenage, a great 2-0 win. This young lad at the moment, 21 years old, Aaron Presley, scoring a goal as well. He looks like a real talent as well. He was on loan last year, I believe, at Accrington, and Stevenage have bought him in for a fee from Brentford. So I think he was somewhere in the B team at Brentford as well. Very similar to like Gillingham's Dom Jeffries. So, but looking at him, and I'm speaking to a couple of Cambridge United fans today at work, he looks really impressive. A big bloke throwing his weight around. Exactly what Steve Evans wants people to do when they play in your Steve Evans side. Throw your weight around, look like a dangerous attacking, not maybe from passing football around, hoof it to the big man, and also making the most out of your set pieces. And that's what they did, with Presley taking the lead against Shrewsbury in the 58th minute. And then as well, another big man up top, Reed, making it, I think it was a bit of a scrappy goal, putting it into the back of the net, but a massive 2-0 win. And I think, including the result the other night, we're sitting here with a Stevenage team with 9 points out of 9.
Mental, isn't it? I thought they'd do well. I really did. And I had them as a dark horse, but I didn't have them to have this start. But to be fair, I think they haven't had a bad start, really, have they? It's been...
It's probably the positives of last year that they're moving on from as well. They overachieved massively last year.
Yeah, they did.
You also had the cup run as well, when they went and beat Villa at Villa Park.
Yeah.
So they had a massive season last year, and I think that's what Steve Evans does, and I hate to admit it. I hate to admit it massively, because you sit there and you see, like, there was a clip the other night on Twitter of him with the fans at Cambridge United, and he's doing this, he's going, oh, wait.
Yeah.
And they absolutely love him. They absolutely love him. And that's the thing is with Steve Evans and with the Gillingham fans, we always had a bit of a relationship with Steve Evans where 80% of us were bringing into his way and so on. 20% of us would refuse to go and watch him because we've always had fallings out with him. But the man gets a team playing as a team. And that's the thing. And, I'm not going to sit here and blame him for our relegation, because it's not his fault. I can tell you that for a fact. It wasn't his fault. We didn't have the money to invest in him. Scully didn't have the money, so we couldn't do it. And, he was working with a very limited wallet and a very limited pocket. So I'm not going to criticise him. All I'm going to say is he's a horrible man if he's playing against you. And he's getting that team to be that sort of Stevenage side.
Completely
and he did it again the other night against Cambridge United. Another big win at Cambridge, bit of a local derby as well, a 2-1 win. I think I took just over 1,000 with him as well. Jordan Roberts, a brilliant player to have at this level, and he offers something a bit different for an Evans side, where you sit there and think, what does an Evans side do? Like I said earlier, set pieces, throw-ins and so on. Jordan Roberts can get the ball down. He's got a bit of pace on him as well. And he's actually replaced them really well in the market. So they lost Luke Norris in the transfer window in the summer. And they've replaced him well with Presley coming in as well. And, Luke Norris he's not that great. He was at Gillingham, he was rubbish as well. So, but Jordan
he
Roberts
was at Town as well.
Yeah, he's not the greatest. He had little glimmers, wouldn't he? You had one game go, cool, he's actually a decent player, isn't he? Then he go 5 games to doing nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Jordan Roberts is a really good player to have this. I've played at Hearts, played at Gillingham, he was at Ipswich as well. So, but what a great win for them at a good Cambridge United side. Kachunga getting a goal back for Cambridge United in the 80th minute. And then
I'm just looking at the chart and I'm thinking I can't bring some of these up.
You can't bring the comments up. You can't bring the comments up. And I know Harry. So let me.
Controversial topic.
It is a very controversial topic about Steve Evans, and the reason why I believe Harry does not like Steve Evans is because of the whole fast in Boston United days when he managed Boston United. So it is a controversial subject. Hence Harry's. Evans is corrupt, so on. All I'm going to say is allegedly on this Absolute Football podcast, because I don't want us to get cancelled. I think Josh said that last week. And then Jamie Reid scored a goal to make it a 2-1 win at Cambridge United, and a very good Cambridge United side. All I can say is Cambridge United are going to have a tough couple of weeks because they've lost Cousins already through injury. He's out for 6 weeks. They've got a little player there that's potentially going to be worth a bit of money in the future with Liam Bennett as well. So he's going to be a good one. I think, like I said, Stevenage are going to potentially have a good season if they keep this going. Yeah. Ask me again after 10 games.
Yeah, but like you said with Evans, if he gets a bit of backing, he knows how to produce a winning side. Whether you like the football or not is irrespective. Fans, everybody says, yeah, we want to see decent football. We want to see the ball played around. But if you win 5 or 6 games 1-0, oh, that's a funny score, and you'll be happy, won't you? So
who does that? Who does that?
Yeah, he does that. Yeah, boring Arsenal.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, he does produce a win, and horrible to play against. Absolutely horrible to play against.
Yeah, they've always been like that, haven't they? No matter where he's been at. Matter where he's been at. And I don't even think we've ever beat a Steve. Then again, we don't win many games. But from when us dealing with...
I was going to say, Charlotte, you could get a couple of actually, who have we beaten? You know,
I know. I can count it on one hand.
I know you've had a bad couple of seasons, but
I still have spare fingers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're sitting there going, "I've done that. I can't get any more." No, but seriously, like I said, we've always, when you've come on our previous old podcasts and so on, you know, I always dreaded going to Rochdale away. Absolutely dreaded going to Rochdale, and it's all gone back to like 2009, sorry, when we got promoted and we were beaten in the playoffs. But I've still dreaded going to Rochdale. It's always a horrible place to go to.
It's just a horrible place. I'm joking.
Not geographically or visually. You know, I'm not saying that, but it's just a horrible place to go and play games, especially against Daddy Keith and so on, Keith Hill and so on. You know.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, enough about Rochdale. Anyway, I'll get on to them later.
Yeah, we'll talk about them later. Yeah, sorry about that.
No, it's me. It's me putting me 50 pence worth in. But let's have a little bit of a refresher anyway, because Saturday seems like it's been forever ago. So Bristol Rovers versus Barnsley. Do you think that's a good result for Barnsley, or do you reckon that's points? Obviously lost for them. I reckon it's
lost for them. I think it's a good result for Bristol Rovers. Good result for Bristol Rovers. And to be fair, most places you go to as well, if you go to Bristol Rovers, getting a point there is always quite a good place to go to. It's a horrible, and I know there's some Bristol City fans in there as well. It's a horrible ground, and it's a horrible ground to go and play at as well. So, you know, it's a good point there, probably, Barnsley fans. So
horrible ground, horrible manager, horrible team.
Yeah.
Leave it at that.
Next up, Burton Albion 0, Derby County 3. I reckon Burton will struggle this season. I don't know if anyone else does, but I really do think they will. Especially after last season, I think they will be in a relegation battle, mate.
I feel sorry for my mum. My mum's a Burton Albion fan.
Oh, is she?
Yeah,
I feel bad now.
This withering old dear sitting there going, "Oh, Burton are rubbish, aren't they?" Or she says it a lot worse than that. She says Burton are absolute, but we won't say that on here. And she's really depressed at the moment. Like, I text her going, "What's going on at Burton?" She'll be like, "Don't want to talk about it." You know, she's quite a quiet lady herself. But yeah, I had Burton being a bit of a dark horse because under Dino Marmaria, I think that's how you say it. I always struggle with that one. They were playing some really good stuff like second half of last season, but they've lost some big players there in their team. I think, who did they lose to? They lost somebody half decent, but I can't remember his name. I'm not going to try and pretend I do know it. But they've lost some key players there, and they've struggled to replace them as well. But yeah, I think 3 games in, we'll see where they are after 10 games.
Yeah.
But again, I think if you're a Burton Albion fan, take a 16th place finish. If they went 15th place, take it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Definitely.
That's it, Tom Nader. That's the one. Cheers, that's the one.
Cheltenham 0, Bolton 3. What's that Bolton have had?
Yeah, they're
what is that?
I think if anybody finishes above them, they'll get promoted. I can see them going through the league.
You sound
He had
like
a
Talk
decent
Sport, Nick.
season
You
last
talk about
season,
Man
didn't you?
City.
Yeah, and I think Cheltenham will struggle because again, they're a side that they've probably punched above their weight for a while. So
yeah, completely agree with
I
that.
can see them struggling this season. It eventually catches up with you.
Yeah, completely agree. Exeter 0, Blackpool 0.
Yeah, good point for Exeter. Blackpool going to be a good side this year in League One, especially with Neil Critchley managing them again. He knows how to get Blackpool playing, so it's a good point for Exeter. I think.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, Blackpool probably happy with a point away at Exeter as well. It's a long way to go.
Yeah,
so
it is.
Credit to those fans making the travel as well.
What's this one? Let's get this comment up.
Wade Elliott is a manager to look out for in the future, in my opinion. So he's currently Cheltenham manager, I believe, and I think he's been under. Is he Cheltenham manager? He is Cheltenham manager.
I'm going to say, I'm sure he is, isn't he?
He's been under a lot of pressure over the last couple of months. So I don't think Cheltenham fans massively rate him, to be honest with you.
No.
So I don't know. I don't know if it's because Wade Elliott's probably got a Bristol City connection. Anybody who played for Bristol City, Matt Newman loves. So.
I love it. Fleetwood 0, Cambridge United 2. Was we expecting this?
I think Fleetwood are going to struggle this year.
I
Obviously, with their owner being behind bars. I don't know how you can invest in your squads there, but they signed a new player today. I didn't see who it was. I saw the announcement. And I just switched off and didn't even look at it. But I think that does show what a result that was for Stevenage the other night, winning at Cambridge United as well. A good 2-0 win away at a Fleetwood side. So, Fleetwood against another tough place to go to. So, but the game I'm looking forward to this season in League One is the Fleetwood and Blackpool derby. That's always a good one.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. I completely forgot.
Is it that you can get a tram from Fleetwood to Blackpool? It's that close, so it's going to be a good derby. I can tell you that. It does get a bit fiery with all three of those Fleetwood fans.
Shots fired. Right, moving on. I'm joking. Lincoln City 3, Wickham 0.
Yeah, I if that's probably one of the results of the weekend that I didn't see coming. It's Lincoln City had a tough start, couple of games. Well, first game of the season anyway.
But that's a horrible place to go to as well, with that bloody siren going off all the time. Used to hate going there, and they were always difficult to get a result at their ground. But that siren just used to do your head in. Shut the bloody thing up, will you?
Wasn't it last year that they drew some ridiculous amount of home games? They didn't lose them, but they just drew so many games. They just
I think you're right, actually. Yeah,
they just drew after draw. It was draw after draw. I think they only won like 2 games last season. I want to look that up because it is a funny one, isn't it? Because it seemed to be ridiculous with that. And to be honest with you, fair enough. Smash the place up.
I know, just smashed my phone up.
Yeah, that's the one.
Just grab it. Sounds about this.
Yeah, so Lincoln last season they won 7 games at home and drew 14, but only lost 2 games all season at home. So it was quite good to have a season ticket that season. So they're going to be a good side at home, aren't they? Anyway, so
yeah.
Let's have a look in the chat quickly before we move on. Who's doing one this week? Billy from Absolute Football Podcast is with us. Hello, Billy. Cheltenham are going down, in my opinion.
Good.
I'm allowed to say it. They're my local side. Oh, God.
Good. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that so quickly.
So next one is Oxford versus Carlisle. So Oxford 1, Carlisle 0. Was we expecting that? Do you reckon Carlisle will struggle?
They've had a tough start, haven't they? I actually picked Carlisle to be one of the sides that not to struggle this year. I saw them to have actually quite a good season this year, and they've had a tough one. But they're not getting. I think we just need to I'm just going to double check that before I say this, but they're not getting hammered every week. That's the thing. They're losing to the odd goal here. I think they got a point on the first game of the season.
Yeah, wasn't that against Fleetwood when it's someone
could have been 1-1 draw, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm sure it was. Yeah,
so they lost 1-0 at Oxford. They drew with Fleetwood first game of the season. They drew 1-1 with Wigan. So, against Wigan, that's a good result. So on Tuesday night. So I think 2 points. They just need to start scoring goals in the right area and picking up 3 points, and I think they'll be fine. I don't think there'll be one that will be down here at the end of this season.
I've got a question here as well, but I don't really know how to answer it.
Any thoughts on Cameron Brannigan for Oxford? Well, he's a decent player. The only reason that name absolutely, because I didn't realise this before he played. I think it was last season or the season before last. Might have been season before last. He actually nearly went blind and couldn't actually play football anymore. They nearly actually said he got his So, and in his first game back, he scored 4 against Gillingham. Thank you for that. And he's it's a bit embarrassing when you can see 4. But he
did he have his white stick?
Yeah, we lost 7-2 that game. I heard the next top goal scorer was Stevie Wonder. No, but it's one of those ones, isn't it, where it's very much like he's a good player at League One level, and there's been a lot of links to him moving away from Oxford. I can't remember who it was, but he was linked to some bottom half championship sides. He's been at Oxford for a long time. And I can't see him leaving. I think he's going to stick it out.
Yeah, you would think so after coming back from something like that. You'd think. I know there's no loyalty in football, but you'd expect him to, like you say, stay there.
Bristol City have been linked to him. Sorry, Con. Apologies about that. So yeah, middle half, lower table championship side Bristol City. Fair enough, isn't it?
Yeah.
So there you go.
And then obviously we have got Peterborough 1, Charlton 0. They've had a good start, haven't they, to be fair, Peterborough?
Yeah, I hate to say it. It's Darren Ferguson, isn't it? I despise the man. So I'll let Nick talk about Peterborough.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Well, we got a draw with them in the League Cup. Got a wonderful penalty. Penalties, we've had 25 penalty shootouts and we've won 3, so we kept up our record by losing a penalty shootout 4-1, which is absolutely disgusting. But yeah, Peterborough are going to be a hard side to beat. I think they're a pretty decent footballing side, and they seem to bring players through, sell them on for good profit, reinvest it. So I think they'll be in the top, certainly up the top playoffs at least, if not above that. So I think they'll do well this season.
They're one of those teams, aren't they, as well, where obviously they'll do well in League 2, League 1, but then once they're in the Championship, they'll obviously go back down, kind of thing.
Similar to Rotherham, aren't they? They invest to get themselves out of League 1, have a season or 2 seasons in the Championship,
and then they come back down.
It's just Darren McAntony's investment model, isn't it, for the club? He puts his money in, hopes to make a profit, never makes a profit, and ends up going back down because he doesn't want to spend the money again.
Yeah, then they sell their best players, and like you say, it's on the old roundabout then.
Yeah, exactly, and a good 1-0 win against a Charlton side that a lot of people were pipping to be up there this season as well. So all I want to say is I just want to ask actually if he's sitting in here, Graham as well. He's a Charlton fan, isn't he? So Graham, how do you think your team are going to do this year? And also as well, it's great to see Alfie May hasn't scored yet either.
I love it. Obviously, we mentioned Stevenage and Shrewsbury, but Wigan Athletic 2, Northampton 1. Wigan really are fighting, aren't they? They are fighting for their lives. Obviously, the point deduction, but they've had a great start to the season. Obviously, Northampton, not so much, but Wigan, fair play to them.
Yeah, I think it's one of those ones where they've actually invested well. They've got some really good League One players in this season. And I think you mentioned it earlier, Burton losing Johnny Smith to Wigan. A very good signing at this level. I know they haven't got much money at the moment, Wigan. But, the points deduction, they've got a good side, especially with Charlie Wyke as well, a very good League One striker as well. So, they're only on -1 points now after game week 3. So you've got to be happy with that, especially that. I think a lot of Wigan fans are very much like, we're only 10 points off the top now, they're getting there. So
is that right as well? Reading have had another points deduction.
Yeah, they have. I think they've had one point deduction and another 3. I don't know what the word is, suspended or pending. Yeah. So they're in a bit of trouble. So
well, my league table won't be right then after.
Jane.
Oh, we've got Josh in the chat as well. But yeah, my league table won't be right if that's the case, because I didn't know. So sorry, guys.
No, you're fine. You're all right. But yes, Josh.
We've got Graham as well.
Yeah.
Hey, Graham, new owners.
Yeah. It's like I said, I think a lot of Charlton fans were very, very bitter towards Gillingham this week, because we obviously announced our signing of Macaulay Bonne. They were like, we got Alfie May, you've got Macaulay Bonne. But Bond's a good signing at our level. So and Alpha May hasn't scored yet still.
Love it. Right, Tuesday's games as well. We're still in League One, so obviously Barnsley 1, Peterborough 3. I will talk about that as well because I think that's quite a good result from Peterborough again, especially against a good Barnsley team. So on the preview show, I did actually predict Peterborough to struggle because I think I seen something that they were having financial issues. I don't know if that's true or not, but I saw something about that and they had to sell a couple of the players, but I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if that's completely legit. But yeah, brilliant away win against a great Barnsley side that a lot of people have predicted to get promoted this season, especially after the great season last. Barnsley took the lead with Barry Cotter scoring in the 51st minute, and then obviously Peterborough levelled with Hector. I can't say his name, so I'm going to call him Hector. Is it Cipriano?
Let's have a look. Let's see if we
Is
can
it
picture this one together.
It sounds worse because I'm Northerner as well.
Who's that bloke over there? Get Rihanna. So let's have a look. Yeah, we'll go with that. That's go with that.
Is that a good pronunciation?
Well, it's the right letters. I don't know if it's in the right order.
In the right order.
Yeah, so
it's not Hector Smith, is it? It is. Have I got it right? It is Cipriano, is it?
It seems when it's Hector Smith. No, it's not. It is Cipriano. You were right.
Yeah, so they took the lead with him, and then they went on to score all 3 of their goals within 11 minutes as well. So, yeah, great result. Clark Harris is one of them, and I want to say Poku or Poku. Another pronunciation I can't say. It's P-O-K-U.
Do I need to load it up again? 1 second. Let me just load it up again.
It's P-O-K-U.
Poku, yeah, we'll go with that.
Poku, yes.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, so he scored the goals for Posh. So, yeah, I think that's a fantastic win for them. Like I said, Peterborough at the minute, they're on a really good run and against a good Barnsley team as well.
Mm. Yeah, that's a cracking win.
Especially go 1-0 down as well.
Poke.
It probably is saying it. He is, unfortunately, sure he's probably right. No thanks. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, well done. Yeah, it's not Cipriani either. Sean's throwing us off big time now. We're not talking about that anymore.
I think I need to do lessons. We might make it a thing, a podcast special where
that's
everyone
what
gives
we
me
can have like halfway through dialects with Sharp and Roxburgh. That's it.
Yeah, someone's put Graham's Foot new feature this year.
Yeah, that's one. Graham, that's the one.
Love it. We've got Blackpool 0, Port Vale 0.
Good point for Vale.
I think it's points drop for Blackpool though.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's especially, but it's a good point for Vale after losing 7-0 on the first game of the season.
Shame.
Yeah, that was just mental, weren't it, for him? And everyone was saying, I remember being on Twitter and everyone were taking a mick out of Barnsley, saying Barnsley haven't got a striker and all this, and then obviously they thumped them, didn't they, 7-0?
Yeah. Yeah, so, and to be fair, it's on the back of a good win on Saturday as well for Port Vale. They beat Reading on Saturday as well, so it's to lose 7-0 in the first game of the season, then to pick up a good 1-0 win at home to Reading, and then a point on the road at Blackpool. I can't imagine a Tuesday night in Blackpool's very nice, is it? So it's a good point for them.
And obviously moving on, Bolton 3, Fleetwood Town 1. They're doing well, aren't they, at the minute, Bolton? They really are.
Yeah, they're going to be. They're going to. I can imagine them hitting 100 points plus this season.
Do you reckon they will win the whole thing? Do you reckon?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
they're the side to beat, aren't they?
Champions.
Yeah, definitely.
Champions this season. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. It's really early on. It's 3 games in, but I think a lot of us would have had them there this season.
Yeah.
In our preview show, anyway, we had a lot of them there, didn't we? So.
Yeah, completely agree. I had them top. I'm sure I had them top. Did I? I can't even remember now.
I think a lot of us probably did.
Obviously, we mentioned Cambridge 1, Stevenage 2, Carlisle United 1, Wigan Athletic 1. Do you think that's a good point for both teams?
Yeah,
good point for Carlisle.
I would say so.
And so another side that you don't want to go to on a Tuesday night, Carlisle away.
It's freezing. Absolutely freezing. I remember
it's a Hartlepool, probably, I reckon.
I know, honestly, I remember me and my dad went and there weren't many Rochdale fans there. And obviously it's not covered. It was standing up. It wasn't covered. And it was that cold. I wanted to cry, but I physically couldn't cry tears. I think it would have been icicles. It was so cold, honestly.
What are you wincing for? I'm not. The tears are frozen to my face, you know.
I didn't even cry. I had a bright red nose, looked like Rudolph. But I don't think we actually lost that game, so I'd take it. I'm sure it was like a 0-0 draw or something, so it wasn't
That's
the best
like
game.
that's a like
but
a
it was
once
a
in 100
point.
year history. That is. That doesn't happen very
know.
often. I hope you bought a lottery ticket that night as well.
I know. I couldn't. I was that cold. my fingers just went still.
Trying to take that guy their money. I can't.
Yeah, I was like, Charlton 1, Bristol Rovers 2. They're struggling, Charlton, aren't they?
They are.
Really are struggling.
I think it is going to be a struggling season for them. So yeah,
As Graham said, they've got new owners. They need to put their hand in their pocket, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, completely. Derby County 1, Oxford United 2. Oxford.
Oh, can't talk about that.
You'll move on.
Yeah.
No, it is. I mean, in fairness, that is a good win there.
It's a great result.
Actually, as much as I hate to say it, I don't know why they struggled last season, because they only just avoided relegation, and they could easily have gone down. And a lot of people were tipping them to be in the playoffs. So whether they've got it together this season or not, but yeah, why they struggled before, I have no idea. Because they say, as much as it pains, they've had some decent players there. So, but that is a good win for them, to be fair.
Yeah.
Do you know what as well? Derby County under Paul Warne wouldn't have had them struggling at the start of this season as well. I know they lost a couple of players in January, but not January. I keep saying January. What's going on? In the summer. Paul Warne's a good manager though. He shouldn't be struggling, and especially with a side like Derby. So, could he be one of the first casualties in League One if they're still floating mid-table after 12 games? I wouldn't mind putting some money on it, to be fair.
Yeah,
possibly. Good shout. Northampton 2, Lincoln City 2.
Yeah, I believe Northampton
probably predictable result.
Didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Similar. I guess they're going to be similar levels. It's probably a good away point.
But to be fair to Northampton, they were 2-0 down with 78 minutes. Lincoln scored their second in the 78th minute. But then they scored a goal in the 86th and then a 98th minute equaliser with Sam Hoskins, last season's top goal scorer. So, it's a good point for them. Good point.
Got a few comments on Oxford. Oxford United made a signing from Notts County.
Yeah, he's a good player. Ruben Rodriguez, good player, like I said, and especially because I know a lot of clubs were interested in him as well. So, for him to go to Oxford as well, it's decent.
Yeah. I love Sam Hoskins. He's one of my favourite players. He's one of them players I don't like playing against your club, but like when we're not playing him, I do like him. He scores quite a lot of goals as well, doesn't he?
Graham said that Charlton have got Port Vale at the Valley on Saturday. I don't think they've won away since New Year's Day.
We know what's happening.
Yeah, right.
Get him on the acca.
Let's have a look. Should we have a look and see what odds we can get on this one? I'll tell you in a second. You keep going. I'm going to tell you right now what odds we can get on a Port Vale win.
We've got Shrewsbury 2, Burton Albion 1. As I mentioned before, I think Burton Albion will struggle me. I don't want to say it because I know your mum's now a Burton Albion fan and I feel bad, Scoops.
It's all right, Mum. We don't mean it.
No, I think you're right, Char. They will struggle this season. And they've struggled for a while, haven't they? So, I don't know how much money they've got in the club, but I don't think it's going to be financially an issue as well. So
they're not a massive.
What do we think of Shrewsbury as well, though? Because they're always they're a weird team, Shrewsbury, aren't they? They're always quite mid, aren't they? Mid-table and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, they sacked Cottrell, didn't they, in the summer? And he said in January again. And he said in January. In the summer, they sacked Cottrell, which was a really weird one because he's done really well and overachieved. Don't worry, Skips. I'll cheer your mother up, face com. Absolute animal. Oh God. But yeah, it's one of those ones, isn't it, where Cottrell's they did really well and overachieved at Shrewsbury. So it'll be interesting to see how Matt Taylor gets on. Who he's not the greatest. They've got the greatest records in managerial appointments, and we'll see how he gets on.
Yeah.
Just quickly, Charlton versus Port Vale. You can get a 19 to 20 on Charlton, or 13-5 on a Port Vale win, or a 5-2 draw. So I reckon it's worth a fiver on that for Port Vale win.
Definitely.
For an £18 return, I think. I quite like that.
Sorry, by the way, Graham, but you made us do this.
We're not sorry at all, Graham.
I'm trying to be nice. We want him to come back next week.
Yeah, he'll come back. Don't worry about it.
And then obviously we mentioned the Wickham Leighton Orient result. Portsmouth 1, Exeter City 0. I expected that, to be honest. I expected Portsmouth to win, especially at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then a good win for Reading as well. Reading 1, Cheltenham Town 0.
Yeah, so only winning this season so far, isn't it, Reading? So, well, they've obviously got 3 points and they lost one of them. But it's they've had a struggling start, and would we have put Reading down the bottom half of the table this time, this early on? Probably not, because they were playing some, some sides that have struggled last year. So, yeah, no, I think Reading are going to have a mediocre season.
Yeah, I completely agree. Just on the Shrewsbury one as well, I remember him. I'm sure they were in League Two. Oh, wrong one. What? Wrong comment. I'm sure they're in League Two, and we've played them in League Two before, Shrewsbury. I know they've been in League One for quite a while now.
I can tell you now, Mr. Luke, only one side beat Shrewsbury at Wembley in the playoff final in 2009, no other than your mighty Gills with a 95th minute Simeon Jackson winning goal. Thank you very much. And who did we beat in the playoff semi-finals? Rochdale. Get in.
I know. Double whammy.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's all right, don't worry. And then obviously the league table, we have got Bolton obviously topping that, Peterborough on 9 as well, and then Stevenage on 9.
Stevenage.
It's mental, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What a good start from them.
3 games in, come on. I think a lot of Stevenage fans will be sitting there going, only 41 more points to safety. That's what they'll be looking at.
Yeah, I thought as well with Shrewsbury.
Not that long as well,
yeah. Portsmouth are on 7 points in 4th place. Then we have got Cambridge, Shrewsbury, and Oxford all on 6 points. We have got Blackpool, Bristol Rovers on 5 points. On 4 points, we've got Barnsley, Exeter, Lincoln, and Port Vale. On 3 points, we have got Derby in 14th. We've got Charlton. We've got Reading and Wickham. On 2 points, we've got Carlisle in 18th spot. Then we've got Northampton and Fleetwood, both with a point. And then in the relegation, we have Cheltenham, Leyton Orient, Burton Albion, and Wigan on -1. But I didn't know about Reading as well, so I don't know if this is not right now.
No, it's not right. They're on -2. They're not on -2. They're on 2.
So we'll just we'll leave
I wouldn't worry about it, Shah. We had Accrington second in the table last week in League One and League Two, so I wouldn't worry about it.
That is true. Should we talk about your guys' favourite leagues now?
Yeah. Let's talk about the National League.
But do you know what I'm going to do? Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make you wait, Scoops.
Oh, what?
I'm going to make you wait. You're not allowed to talk about Gillingham, but you can talk about Walsall versus Stockport if you like. What happened on Saturday?
I'd rather not, but go on, let's talk about it.
Go on.
Yeah, so Stockport made the journey to the Bescott. Walsall are one of those funny ones, aren't they? They've had a good tenure in League Two now, and one of those ones where they came down and was like, oh, they'll come straight back up, and they've been wallowing around there. And they've had some really good appointments over the last couple of seasons, which I thought was going to be great with Michael Flynn. I think he's a great manager. Did fantastic at Newport to get the Walsall job. And now that he's obviously not managing there now, I'm just trying to think who the manager is. It is Sadler as well, who was a bit of an internal appointment, so they were unsure about that. But yeah, it was a great win, and it's a struggle for Stockport so far this season. I believe they're without a win. I should really have done that research, but hey, that's life. Yeah, they are without a win. They've only got a point on the right so far. And that was against a good point at Bradford City or against Bradford City. So, but yeah, Johnson took the lead for Walsall in the 24th minute, and then Ote. So did he play for Rochdale?
Who was that? Sorry.
Oteh. Did he play for Rochdale, or have I just made that up? I probably made that up. Let's have a look. Yes, I did make that up. There you go. It's a completely different one. He played for Crawley. I've thrown you off there. You're like, oh my god, I don't know who he is. Sorry.
I'm not a real fan. I don't know.
That's it. Get off, Char. That's it. You don't know who he is. No, I'm joking. No, he played for Crawley last year. 2-0 to make it 2-0, and then Rydell scored a 97th minute to make it 2-1. But apparently, according to a follower on Twitter, Walsall were lucky there was a couple of half chances in the last 10 minutes for Stockport, but a good win for Walsall. They needed that to get their season started, and it's a great win for them against a very good Stockport side who aren't going to be down that side of the table for much longer, I don't think.
They're not having a great start again, no, have they? They did this last season.
They were the same last year, weren't they?
Yeah.
Haven't they got a lot of injuries this season as well? I'm sure they called him. We had someone on loan called Cody Johnson. He was a young midfielder, and they've actually called him back. And we've had to get someone else now because there's that many injuries in their midfield. Stockport, I think Campson's got a shoulder injury. I think one of their players, I don't know who, is out long term. I think they are really struggling in midfield. Yeah.
Claire, ref from the match, apologised as well for a clear pen miss. We always start bad and we have 5 injuries already. It's not the start you wanted as well, especially when you're not even in September yet. You've got 5 players out, so
yeah, it's not good at all. But yeah, I think they'll turn it around 100%. They've got a really good team, and I think they've got a great manager as well. Dave Challoner, I think, is fantastic.
Yeah,
fantastic. Let's have another look at these results. Oh, wrong one. Wrong one. So yeah, Saturday's results. Let's take a pick out of these. So we've got AFC Wimbledon 1, Wrexham 1.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching Wrexham. Obviously, I think Wimbledon missed a penalty, and then they scored the second opportunity, didn't they?
They did. Yeah, I think keeper saved the pen, and then Parkinson moaned that the grass was too long, which is why Wrexham didn't win. Always got an excuse.
I love that lead.
He's always got an excuse, hasn't he?
Yeah. It winds me up.
Hopefully, again, he'll have an excuse on Saturday when we go there.
Are you going, Nick?
No, I'm going to Bath Racecourse actually.
You could have been on Disney.
No, you know how much I like Sky United.
Yeah, I honestly thought you would have been there. Score last minute winner, Nick on the pitch. That's it.
Yeah, that would be good, wouldn't it?
A team that I think are doing absolutely brilliant as well, and as they did last season, Barrow 2-1 against Sutton. I mean, Pete Wild, he's doing a great job. Did
you see the absolute SH1T housery from Barrow for Sutton United? So Harry Smith got sent off against Barrow on Saturday, and there was a clip of him because the keeper he got sent off, didn't he? And Harry Smith was there like this. That's waving off the keeper because he got sent off. Then Harry Smith got sent off against Barrow, and there was a Barrow player sitting there going this.
Doing the same. Yeah, it's cracking,
wasn't it? Waving him off. It was brilliant. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, that was good.
But yeah, I think he's brilliant, Pete Wild, honestly. When before we got Robbie Stockdale, we were linked with him, and he's a manager I would have loved, but obviously we went with Robbie Stockdale, and yeah, I think he's doing a brilliant job at Barrow, and he's always one of them managers that I feel like it's like a project with him, isn't it? Like with Halifax as well. Like give him a good few seasons, give him time, and he will bring you.
He did it at Oldham, didn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
They beat Fulham in the FA Cup, didn't they? With when Carlo Ranieri was there, he did really well. Achieved, I think he kept them up, didn't he? At Oldham, he'd done a half decent job, and then all of a sudden got rid of him. They said because he was doing a part-time role or whatever until the end of the season, and look where they are now.
Bradford 2, Colchester 1. Expect that Colchester aren't doing very well at the minute, have they?
Yeah, slow start. Colchester are always going to be that half of the table, aren't they? They've got Ben Garner as manager, haven't they? I know, Nick, your experience with Ben Garner as a manager.
Yeah, it's plenty of 65% possession, but don't do a great deal with it, and it can be boring. He's the sort of manager that needs an out-and-out goal scorer to get him those wins. Otherwise, he struggles. So, I'm not surprised. And obviously, Bradford City needed that win, I think, to get their season going. So, again, they're another side that really shouldn't be in League Two, but they all seem to mess it up, don't they, one way or the other? So, be interesting to see how they do. And they're my old mate Liam, and see what he gives for this season. So looking forward to that.
I know Liam.
Yeah.
It's funny, innit? I do like Liam.
Yeah.
This comment really made me laugh.
Don't have a mare if you don't get any winners on Saturday, Nick.
It really made me laugh.
Nice one.
That's
Right.
that's the sort of level of Sean's jokes there. So let's nice to make that clear.
Scoots, I'm going to let you have your moment, but you're only allowed to talk about this game first. Gillingham 1, Accrington 0. I'm going to take this down. I'm going to let you have your moment.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I appreciate you allowing this time for me to speak to the congregation as we talk about Gillingham and Massive. No, we I must admit I went on Saturday. And we dominated from start to finish. The first 15 minutes was slightly even, more even than it was. But Accrington, to be honest with you, a lot of Accrington fans were really disappointed with the performance, and so was John Coleman as well. He said Gillingham were a very physical, very direct side. I wouldn't agree with that, and a lot of Accrington fans like I wouldn't have agreed with that either. Accrington were very direct. They had some big lads in the team, young lads as well. I didn't think they played that badly. They just didn't have any. They didn't have a shot on goal. Throughout the whole game. The keeper didn't really have much. There were a couple of dives where they were a bit closer to the post. But Gillingham again, we took the goal. We took the goal well. A Tommy Nichols assist, nice through ball. Nadson, who signed from Crawley in the summer, tucks it away. A good little finish as well. And we talk about Gill's 1-0 win. Okay, Scoots, just read off the same script from last week. No problem at all. Gillingham are massive. Thank you very much. Good night, everyone. That's it. It's done. But no, it's we dominated the game. It should have been 3 or 4. It should have been 3 or 4 on Saturday, but it wasn't. I can hear a whining noise. Yeah, no, Nick, I would honestly stop talking into your microphone. No, I'm joking.
Sorry.
But no, we looked really good on Saturday, and it should have been 3 or 4. And I wouldn't say Accrington were that bad, but a lot of Accrington fans were very upset with the performance. And well done to 109 that travelled down as well. Realistically, given the squad you have, where should you expect to finish? Has to be automatic, doesn't it?
I would have to agree with that, and sadly,
do you know
I
what?
agree.
And that's the sad part, isn't it, Charles? We said on our preview, or was it? I think it was last week. I was talking with Faye, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
and she asked me, "Where do you realistically think Gillingham will stay?" I said, "If we sign Macaulay Bonne, automatics." I will take playoffs now. But
come on, Scoops.
no,
Come
Nick,
on.
I just don't want to say it.
I know you don't.
You could
I
win
don't
it.
want to say it.
Do you reckon you could win it?
I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know. Nick's
I
answering
think
for
so.
me. Go on, Nick. Answer for me, Nick.
I think you'll definitely be top 3. Whether you win it or not, it doesn't really matter, does it? It'll be nice to win the league, but top 3's got to be the target. I say, as much as it pains me, and we have the crack, but I think you'll be top 3.
3 games in, I'll take playoffs. Yeah, sure, same, mate. Yeah, thank you. Do you know, it'd be really depressing. Like, do you think last year we were talking about this show last season where Gillingham were absolutely dire? We were awful.
I'm absolutely fuming. I'm not really, not for you, but I'm fuming because we took place.
It's been such a topsy turvy 12 months as a Gillingham fan.
Did you come to the Swindon game, Scoops?
What, the 3-3?
3-3.
No, I didn't.
Where I'll tell a little story about that. Where I was sitting last season, we were right in front of the press box.
Yeah.
And we had the Gillingham reporters directly behind us. And me and my son were there, and we did the cardinal sin. We went a goal up in like less than a minute.
It was Johnny Williams, wasn't it? I think 2.
Yeah, we turned round to the press box and went, yes. Within 11 minutes, we were 3-1 down. And we were going, oh my God, why did we do that? Why did we do that? And we should have won it at the end. Guy threw on goal, should have made it 4-3. But I mean, it's a cracking game.
Yeah, it was a good game.
Yeah.
And that was when we just had our takeover. And I think we won our first game in something ridiculous amount the week before. So, I think we won at Colchester the week before 2-0, I think it was. And we needed to win games, and that's what we started doing. And it's been a topsy-turvy 12 months. Matt Newman, someone clip all this for when they finish outside the top 7.
It'll be all over the socials.
That's why I don't want to say it. That's why I'm not saying it. Because, like I said, I will take playoffs. Thank you very much. Worried the bus won't get down those tiny streets around Priestfield for any parade. Yeah, but you get it's your typical lower league stadium, which shows you the romantics of the game, doesn't it?
We need you just to hold on there a minute, Vol Scoots, because you've got another game to talk about on Gillingham. So we'll get back to the league, and then you can have your other say on Gills again on the Tuesday fixtures. So I'll
Thanks,
keep you
mate.
hanging a bit.
You're fine. You're all right. I'll keep quiet now. I'm just going to sit here now. Just keep quiet.
Harrogate Town 0, Forest Green 1. I didn't know what to expect, to be fair, with that game. It could have gone either way, I think.
Well, you see, your Forest Green signed today. They signed Troy Deeney as player coach.
Yeah, they have.
It just feels like a Duncan Ferguson appointment again, doesn't it?
Wasn't he linked with yous, Nick? Or did
he was. There was apparently he was at Swindon's game Saturday, but not. He was in the ground, but not watching the game for some reason. So there were rumours going around that he was coming to us, and then he was at Forest Green on Tuesday, and obviously they've announced today that he signed. So, but I mean, they've got a massive side. I mean, they must have 4 players in their centre halves and in the 2 forwards. They must all be at 6'3", 6'4". They are a huge side. But so it'll be interesting to see how that works out. He could batter that out of people, so know what Dean is like. So
that is true. That is true. Graham as well. Say it right, and then he's put Deanie.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's a good signing for him, though. To be fair, it's just whether he'll live up to it.
I don't think he will.
I don't. To be fair, there's always a big signings, isn't there? And they don't really.
He's like, who's putting there? Oh, Matt Newman, the next John Parkin. Yeah, thank you very much. That's the one.
But I guess he'll miss his steaks and meat pies because he won't get them down at Forest Green.
That is true.
Well, it's quite funny. I saw Swindon fans because who do you play on? You play Forest Green soon, don't you? I think.
No, he played him Tuesday.
Oh, you played him Tuesday.
Yeah.
I know. I saw a Swindon fan that I follow. He commented saying, because thanks for the points. I think they said on. Somebody put a sign on the training ground side.
Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah, I see that.
And then somebody commented saying, "You're meant to be a sustainable club, but how can you say it's sustainable to be training an hour away from your home ground and chipping them?" You know, it's a valid point. Valid point.
Yeah.
So
we're not sustainable. We got no money, so don't worry. Yeah, we don't worry about stuff like that.
Yeah, we've got solar panels and we sell vegetable steak pies. You know.
Right, we'll move this on before they all come coming for us.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit.
Right, Mansfield 3, Morecambe 0.
Yeah, Morecambe going to struggle. Morecambe going to struggle this season, aren't they? They're going to struggle.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
They signed David Tutonda. He's a good little left back at this level. We had him last season and the season before last. He wasn't a bad player at League One level, so a decent signing that for Morecambe. But obviously defensively, he didn't do him any favours.
What we're reckoning about Mansfield as well? Do you think it's their season or not? There's a lot of strong teams, isn't there? Do you think Clough has to do something this season, or do you think his job may be in trouble?
No, I don't think so. I think he's one of those guys now where if he does all right, like if they get around the playoffs, I think Nigel Clough will be there for quite a while. He's one of those guys setting his ways, local bloke, and Burton's not far from Mansfield. So I think he'll, if he gets them challenging for a playoff spot, and they do miss out like last day of the season like they did last year. But they always start badly, don't they, Mansfield? And they start
they do.
out, don't they? So,
yeah, you'd expect them to be around the playoffs, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Let's see what Claire said. Don't think Mansfield will make playoffs, and I think Clough won't finish the season. I agree. I completely agree.
That's a big one. It's a big shout out.
Completely agree with her.
Faith in Derek Adams. It won't be pretty, but they'll stay up just.
Possibly, because I think there is worse teams.
Yeah, definitely. There are. Oh, well, we thought Crawley were going to be worse size, and look how that's gone.
They might, though. They might do. They might have just had a good start. You never know. Like, obviously, there's injuries. Obviously, January when teams strengthen. Because I know Colchester are one of them teams, aren't they, where they struggle, and then in January, they seem to strengthen. So they're one of them teams.
Well, they had Bloomfield last season, didn't they?
Yeah.
And then they appointed Ben Garner there as well after that, which I thought was probably a decent appointment because usually Colchester are one of those sides that do internal appointments and it just comes back and bites them in the arse, like
Yeah.
with, Hayden Mullins, etc. So yeah,
I agree with Claire.
I think it'll be an interesting one with Ben Garner. I don't feel Bloomfield's all that, but he was doing a good job. And yeah, I think they're down for an 18th, 17th place finish.
Yeah, I agree. What's happening with Tranmere as well? MK Dons 1, Tranmere 0. Not having the best to starts really, have we, Tranmere? The last few seasons.
Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? Tranmere have
It is a
always
weird
been a
one
side
with
that since they've come back down to League Two, they've just struggled, haven't they?
Who's their manager now as well?
It is it Dawes? Is it
Yes.
something Dawes? Can't remember his first name, but he was an internal appointment. I know a lot of Tranmere fans were very against that because it was an internal appointment, but they made a good appointment in Nigel Atkins as their director of football, didn't they? Who's probably got a lot of experience at all levels across the game with what he did at Scunthorpe, Southampton, Hull, and so on. But I think obviously it was a big win on Saturday. I know we haven't spoken about that yet, but we. A big result for them on Saturday. They were playing some really good stuff, and they just need to find that goal scorer, I think.
Yeah. Newport County 4, Doncaster 0.
That's a surprise result of the day, isn't it?
A surprise result.
Because I thought Newport would really struggle this season. I had them to be down in the bottom 2 or 3. Thought they were going to struggle.
What's going on with Doncaster as well?
Yeah, it's one of those ones, isn't it? It's very early doors. Again. But McCann, you can't say he's not a good manager. He's a very good manager at this level and a very good appointment. But yeah, it just might be a bit of a slow start. I can't see Doncaster being down there still in the beginning. Well, in 10, 15 games time.
I don't think they'll be up there either, though. I think they'll be quite mid-table.
I had them as top 7.
Did you?
Top 7. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know why. I must have been drunk while I did it. But I did. I had them up there.
Oh, I love it. Notts County 3, Grimsby 2. I'm going to talk about this one as well because I think it sounded like a really good game. And to be fair, Grimsby are doing all right, aren't they? Like the players they've signed and stuff, we're doing okay. But yeah, Notts County had 64% of the ball to Grimsby's 36. So that aspect, it wasn't a close game. But looking at the match report, it was quite entertaining. Grimsby took the lead in the 17th minute, Danny Rose. And then John Bostock then equalised in the 40th minute. Notts County fans and obviously thought they were going into half-time level. But then Grimsby went and scored in the 7th minute of added time. So, yeah, that was mental. And then in the second half, the equaliser came early in the 50th minute. Jodie Jones put County on level terms. And then 11 minutes later, Dan Crowley wins it for Notts County. It's a bit harsh, really, isn't it, on Grimsby that. They seem to play well. But Notts County, what we're making of Notts County this season? Do you think they'll be up there? Do you think they'll get playoffs? What we thinking?
I think they'll be up there. Out of the 2 that come up, I'd favour Notts County to finish above Wrexham. So I think Notts County will be there or thereabouts. Whether we're talking probably playoffs, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're right in the mix come the end of the season.
Yeah, I'd probably say the same as well. I think Luke Williams is a better manager out of the 2. I know Parkinson's got a lot of experience, but he plays rubbish football and a very old style manager where I think he'll probably get caught out this season as well. I think like Notts County invested well. We get David McGoldrick in as well. And also Jodie Jones, I think it's a fantastic signing as well at this level. He's unfortunately a player that's been injured a lot in his career, but I know a lot of commentary players still rate him, especially, and it's a great signing at this level. But yeah, I think Notts County will be better, and I think I agree with. Don't see Wrexham and Notts County having too many. I've ignored that. Yeah, sorry, Graham. But I was going to say I can see Notts County being finishing above Wrexham.
I can.
Langstaff has not had any success yet in League Two. No, it's one of those ones, isn't it, where he's had another amazing season last year, didn't he? I'm just trying to see how he's actually got on. It's just his first season at this level, isn't it? it's his first season at this level. Obviously, was at Gateshead before that. Mr. Luke would obviously say that. Say he did pretty well with that in his last season, with 28 goals in the North. And then last season, or the season before last, no, it was last season. 47 games, 42 goals, which is a great return for him. Not to get promoted automatically. It's a bit of a heartbreak, but look at him now.
Yeah.
Last year I didn't get all. Sorry, I just seen
fine.
I didn't get all the hate Wrexham got.
I think it's just jealousy, isn't it, with some people? Like, obviously, we got the fairy tale kind of thing. And I think it's because, as well, it's been so put in people's face, isn't it? Like, obviously, I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I just think it's the media, isn't it? There's a lot of
100%.
isn't there?
Yeah, it's I mean, they're obviously pushing it, but say it's probably not totally their fault because Sky, as I said, Sky have latched onto them.
Yeah, they have.
And it's all Wrexham. So
I think that's why they're going to. Nick,
sorry,
it's like when they won the league, wasn't it, Nick? When they had it was announced on BBC News that night. Wrexham have won the National League. Like, if that was anybody else, didn't win League 2 this season. Is that going to get announced on BBC News?
No,
exactly. So it's that whole fair share. Nobody cares unless it's Wrexham. Yeah. Actually, there's a lot of fans that care about the league apart from Wrexham. So
that's why everybody's going to be the team you want to beat, isn't it? And that's what they're going to have to put up with.
Yeah, completely agree. I think Graham's got it right as well. Wrexham's fairy tale was fantastic, but the media love it made it too over the top, which I think's completely agree with him. Salford City 1, Crawley Town 1, and then, like I did for Scoops, I will let you have your moment, Nick. Swindon Town 2, Crewe Alexandra 2. I'll let you have your moment now. I don't know if you want to do the other game as well for Swindon, if you want to get them both done.
Yeah, I can do. For 60 minutes, we played some super football. Probably the best football we've seen, certainly after last season's rubbish that was served up. Played really, really well. Nice first goal, cross from the right hand side, headed back across goal, and I don't know if you've seen all the videos in the social media stuff of our singing sensation, Dokes as he's known, headed in. Actually, a good finish to go 1-up. And then we totally dominated it. Crewe, they played no football. They come out to kick, to foul, to pull back. They were terrible for an hour. So we had 2 subs on at half time. One injured, the other one had a back spasm. We got players that aren't fixed. They've only just joined us, even though the club said, we won't make the same mistake again. And what have we done? Signed players late who aren't match fit. The sub who come on, Young, we got on loan from Bradford. He scored a cracking goal within a couple of minutes of the start of the second half. And then we give away 2 soft goals. Centre half coming through. Nobody closed him down. Decent shot into the far post to make it 2-1. And then we conceded a late goal for 2 each, a goal that we conceded so many times last season, across from the right to the back post. Hutton, his fullback, didn't pick his man up, and it made it 2 each. And we could easily have lost it in the end because it's getting a bit panicky. So, played some good football, but should have won it when you're 2-0 up, especially at home. So for us, it was points dropped. And then obviously Tuesday we went to Forest Green. On a sort of the non-footballing side, there's a little lad who does a video blog, and he did it, and I've seen it. And he was with his granddad, who's in a wheelchair, and his granddad had to sit with the home supporters because there's no facility for wheelchair access for away fans. Now, how the league allow that, I do not know. That's totally, we call it tin pot, and their ground, if you haven't been there, it is terrible, absolutely terrible. So that shouldn't be allowed. No, but going on, we've had our say on that at Swindon, but going on to the game, first half, as I say, they're a big side. Pumped the ball into the box. They were probably the better side in the first half. We were struggling a bit. Our keeper pulled off some decent saves throughout, And Charlie Austin's struggling for goals. A couple of cracking saves from their keeper, from Charlie, and they went 1-0 up in the first half. The guy took the goal well, cut in from the left, knocked it through the defender's legs into the far post. So yeah, well taken goal, but shouldn't have been allowed. And then we equalised more or less straight after the kick-off. Austin had a shot parried, and Kemp just stood on the line. All he had to do was fall and head it in for one each. And then they had, talking about the new rules, they had a player booked early in the game, and he got a second booking. Our player was going through just from in our own half, just about to cross the halfway line, when he pulled him back. Second yellow, absolutely stupid. He was off. So that really killed the game for them. And then it was all Swindon after that. They say they got a big side, so anything going into the box, you had to be precise or low crosses. We got an absolute screamer 4 minutes into stoppage time to make it 2-1. So, it was a great result, one we needed to get on the winning trail. So, happy with the result. Played well second half. And once we get players match fit, because that's what we're struggling with, and we, like other teams, we got a few injuries already at the moment. Our bench is weak, doesn't give us many options. So, 2 games a week, we're going to struggle. So once we get through August, if we can pick up a few more points through August, we should be okay. But it is going to be a struggle at the moment because of fitness and lack of squad depth.
Yeah,
but good
definitely.
3 points there.
Oh, definitely, especially with cup competitions as well, because obviously we're not there now. But have you had the first round for like the Carabao Cup and obviously the Papa John's? Has that started yet? I don't know now. We don't have that anymore.
Don't talk about that, Nick. You're fine on that, mate.
No, I think we've got. Actually, I'm not sure whether it's this coming Tuesday. We play Arsenal at home.
Yeah.
I think that's this coming Tuesday. So, again, what sort of team we'll put out? Because you have to use so many first players that played previously, don't you?
That's ridiculous.
Which is ridiculous, because the whole point of that is that you bring your fringe players who haven't had games. So we'll probably end up with a fine because we haven't put enough players out that played previously. So, which makes it a nonsense. So so at the moment, and especially we've got Wrexham on Saturday, so that's going to be the crucial one. So he might put I don't know what he'll do Tuesday, so it'll be interesting to see. But yeah.
So, what are you thinking for Wrexham? Do you reckon you can get anything out of the game?
I think it'll be high scoring. Yes, I think we will, but I'm half full person, glass half full. I'm going to put
pressure on me about Gillingham. Come on, Nick. Let's see how many points.
Okay, I'm going to go a 3-2 win for Swindon. Charlie Austin to get off the mark. So we are. The difference this season with us, and sorry for going on a bit, but we are high intensity, high pressing, and our passing wasn't brilliant to Forest Green. We give a lot of balls away, but the difference was we were looking to go forward all the time instead of going across and back, which we've done previously. So we were looking for the openings, and you get frustrated, but then you think, well, they're League Two players. If they made every pass, they wouldn't be playing in League Two. So you've got to take that into account. So we're looking to push forward all the time. So it's going to be Charlie deserves a goal. So once he gets off the mark, I think we'll be okay. So he had basically the 2 goals come from him. The first one was a save, and the header in, and the second one he played it back for the penalty area to outside to set up the second goal. So he's doing a lot of work off the ball. He's good for the team. He just needs that goal. So, and he will get them Saturday, and we will win. How about that?
I hope so now.
So do I. You've got to put it out there, haven't you? You've got to put it out there.
You've got to. I love it. Oh, thank you for the Swindon chat anyway, Nick.
Okay.
And then we have got, on this one, it's Walsall 2, Stockport 1. That's the last of our Saturday fixtures.
Yep. Yeah,
that's a good win for Walsall, actually.
Yeah, it is. Definitely. We've just spoke about that, didn't we, Scoops? You did that one earlier on. It seems like a
Yeah, I
lifetime
bagged that
ago,
one.
doesn't
I
it?
bagged that
Yeah.
one. I bagged that one back at 7:00 this evening. So you're fine.
I know. And then Tuesday we'll just obviously fly through these. So Accrington 1, Barrow 1. Do you reckon good result for both of them teams, or do you reckon points
Good point
lost
for
for Barrow?
Accrington. Good point for
isn't
Accrington
it?
more
Yeah.
than anything, yeah.
Colchester 0, AFC Wimbledon 2.
Good win for Wimbledon. That they needed
Yeah.
a win, so it's a good result. A good, and especially like Nick said in our previous show, what a horrible place to go to, Colchester, just because of the ground location. So a good 2-0 win for the Wimbledon fans, and I think they took quite a few of them with them as well.
Yeah, they did.
So it was a good turnout.
Yeah, we did. Good result as well for Crawley. Crawley 2, MK Dons 1.
Yeah, they're fine at the moment.
I don't know what's happened to Lindsay, because I saw the highlights of that game, and it basically it was shoot on sight. I mean, it was only the highlights, and obviously they picked the best bits out, but they had players shooting from everywhere. So scored a couple of decent goals, and they seem to be everybody's tip to finish bottom of the league, but they're off to a flyer, and he seems to have changed the way he's played teams in the past, though, whether that's because he's twigged it and he's learned. So it'll be interesting to see how long they can keep it up. But I saw the first half of their game against Bradford, and they played really, really well. And from the clip against MK Dons, and that is a good win against MK Dons, they looked like they were playing some decent football. Again, it's only the highlights, and they pick out the best bits. So be interested to see if he does keep it up.
Yeah, definitely. Claire's comment made me laugh. I'm sorry, Nick. But she said, I stopped believing him when he said Charlie Austin will score.
We'll see.
I laughed and ended up turning the slide over. And then obviously we've got Crewe Alexandra 4, Newport County 2.
Yeah, that was Demetrio, who was at County last season, scored 2 goals. So, it's that old thing, your previous player scores against you. So that's probably a good result for them. But as they say, I think Notts County, Newport are going to struggle. Yeah. And to concede 4 goals. But again, say they beat Donny 4-0 and they go lose 4-2 at Crewe. So I think we're going to get that all the way through with this league, that you're going to get those sorts of results. Yeah. But for Crewe, when they played some football against us, they looked decent. But they're not afraid to put a boot in either. So I think they're going to be quite a tough side to get results against.
Yeah. Doncaster 2, Mansfield Town 2. Good point for Doncaster, I'd say, on that really, but I don't know. They're 2 weird teams, aren't they? 2 really strange teams.
They're 2 good League 2 sides. So it's sharing the bruises of the result, isn't it? Sides.
Obviously, we spoke about Forest Green 1, Swindon Town 2, Grimsby 2, Salford 0.
Big
win. Really good win
for Grimsby Town, and I think
very good win.
Hurst has found his club, hasn't he? He's that one-man club.
Yeah.
He's done well at Grimsby before, and he's doing well again. So
they're my dark horse for playoffs.
Yeah, Salford got a man sent off as well. So, but I think again it's still a great result for them, and Aberystwyth getting 2 goals for them as well. So, who I believe joined them this summer as well from Bradford. So 2 goals in 3 games. So
nice.
It's a good little start for them.
This is a decent result for Morecambe as well. I'd say Morecambe 0, Notts County 0. I think very good point for Morecambe, especially considering what I was saying they will struggle this season.
Yeah.
It's a good side, yeah. Obviously Stockport 1, Bradford
good
1.
Point for Stockport, that just to stop the rot. Very good point.
What we're thinking of Bradford though this season, do you reckon they'll do it, or do you think there's just something going on with Mark Hughes, isn't there? It's like we've had one of our players come to us on loan. I think it's called Ryan East, and a lot of the Bradford fans weren't happy.
Yeah, he was with us. They got him from us. Yeah, and we've got Jake Young on loan from them. And according to Liam, Bradford fans were not happy with that. But apparently he had a falling out with Mark Hughes, and he wasn't even getting into friendlies. So that's why we've got him at the moment. It's on a season-long loan, which always worries me.
Yeah.
It's a season-long.
Yeah, there's been a lot of people with the players going out saying like, "Oh, I don't know why he's done that." So yeah, there's a bit of uncertainty with Mark Hughes at the minute. Sutton 0, Gillingham 1. Do you want to speak about it, Scoops?
Yeah, Gillingham massive. Let's go. No, yeah. So let me get the stats up. We took the lead early on, very early on. Again, a Tom Nichols, Ashley Nadson link up to make it 1-0. But difference to this game, we didn't dominate. We did what we were always going to go and do. So first half it was pretty level. 4 shots on goal for Gills and 1 on target, which was the goal. Sutton just couldn't hit the target first half, but then what we did was in the second half we sat back, we defended well, and we were solid as an arrangement. We weren't just defending as a back line, we were defending from the front, and that's the thing that we were missing last season. Nadson gives us completely different something completely different. We were really lacking last year in a big Champions-elect Gillingham win yet another win. Just move on. It's getting boring, isn't it, everyone? Should we just change it? It's not the Absolute Football Podcast, Lower League now. It's the Absolute Football Podcast. Gillingham, a massive podcast. That's it. So the second half, we defended. Yes, did we like a bit of luck? Yes, we did. But, a 1-0 win. Shadrach Oji for the 3rd time this season has got man of the match after 3 games, which is ridiculous, isn't it? And yeah, no, we did everything. We got a tough game on Saturday though. We're away at Crawley, so
that'll be interesting.
Who would be thinking the battle of the Titans at the top of the table between Gillingham and Crawley this season? But yeah, it's great at the moment. Gills are massive. We're going up.
I love it. And sorry if anyone can see me like blowing my nose. I've got a cold, so it's tissue. You just keep seeing me disappearing. I'm blowing my nose. I've got a cold.
Yeah, I saw that. I was
sorry, everyone.
Oh, here we go. It's going out. Shawnee said, Gills are bang average, not massive. I'll have you know. Considering Northampton still haven't finished that stand after how many years. That's what
we've got to give me the trophy now as well.
Where is it?
A good team starts with a good defence. Claire agrees with Sean. And a 3-0 win for Crawley.
I think I remember Claire being a Stockport County fan. I think.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, she is. I think somebody else got 3 points at Edgley Park at the beginning of the season. Who was that? Oh yeah, it was Ginny, wasn't it?
Oh, funny. Oh, we've got Claire as well. She put.
Yeah, he was. Oji was mega. He was. I'm in love with the bloke.
And then we've got obviously just the last 2 fixtures. We've got Tranmere Rovers 3, Harrogate Town 0. Good win for Tranmere. I think they needed a win as well, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, definitely. And Wrexham 4, Walsall 2. We've already spoke a bit about Wrexham, so we'll move on with that one. Scoops, do you want to take us through the table?
Oh, no, you do it. You take it away. I'm just going to.
So we have got Gillingham, the top with 9 points. Then second and third, we have got Barrow and Crawley on 7, sorry. Then on 6 points, we have got MK Dons in 4th place. We have got Mansfield Crew and AFC Wimbledon all on 5. Accrington, Swindon, Grimsby, Wrexham, Bradford, Salford, Morecambe and Notts County all on 4. We have got Sutton, Tranmere, Newport, Walsall, Forest Green, Harrogate, all on 3. Then we have got Stockport County in 22nd on 1 point. We've got in relegation, Doncaster on 1 point. And the bottom of the table, we have got Colchester on 0 points. So yeah, do you want me to leave it on for a few more seconds for you? Or are you happy for us to move on?
No, it's all right. I'll look at it off stream.
He's got the screenshot.
Yeah, I've got it here already. I'm all right.
Right, we've been here quite a while now, haven't we? So I'll try my best to fly through these.
Well, you talk about Russia. I'm still standing, so it's now nearly 2 hours. My feet feel like they're about to fall off.
Right, so what we'll quickly do, we'll go through results. So AFC File 2, Chesterfield 4. A decent game. Obviously, Chesterfield are my ones to finish champions. I think they'll have a really good season, to be fair. What about you guys? Chesterfields, do you reckon?
Yeah.
They've invested
We're all
well.
in agreement, aren't we?
Yeah, I think with Will Grigg and who's it, Jacobs as well. They signed as well.
Yeah.
They've got some quality players there.
And to be fair, they were very competitive last season against obviously Wrexham and Notts County, wasn't they? So I think they deserve to go up, don't they? This season. We've got filed, demolished, couldn't handle. Just Boreham Wood 2, FC Halifax Town 0. Dagenham and Redbridge 0, Southend United 2.
Another big win for Southend, considering the situation they're in. It's a great win for them.
It's a good win. Very good.
Yeah, very good. They're doing all right, aren't they, Southend? And obviously, it's so nice to see. I know Faye spoke about it a bit on the last show, but it's so nice to see everyone coming together, isn't it? To obviously help get the games on. Obviously, it's just a good community feeling. And yeah, I hope they can sort it because I do like Southend. They've got a club with quite a lot of history, haven't they, Southend?
Yeah.
And it's so sad to see what they're going through. It really is. Dorking 0, Maidenhead 2. We've got Eastleigh 0, Wealdstone 0. I'm just buzzing. I really want to meet the Wealdstone Raider. I'm really hoping. Imagine.
We can get Matt Jarvis, we can get the Wealdstone Raider on, can't we? I think that you can actually you can book the Wealdstone Raider for stag do. So, Nick, in celebration of your wedding anniversary, we're going to get the Wealdstone Raider handcuffed to you for a night out.
Let's do it.
Thanks for that.
That's all right.
Let's have a quick look through the comments as well. We'll get them on.
Mark White's Barmy, mate.
We have got Ebbsfleet 1, Solihull Moors 2. They're doing all right, Solihull Moors, to be fair. And with Ebbsfleet as well, obviously, I don't know if any of you saw when they played us, but they actually do play some really good attacking football, to be fair to Ebbsfleet.
They still got the German manager. They got a German manager in. It was like a really random appointment, and he's actually doing really well for them, playing some good football.
Yeah, honestly, they're playing some really good stuff because it's one of them, isn't it? When obviously they get promoted from the National League North or the National League South, you expect them to go straight back down again. But I know a lot of predictions that I've seen from the table this season. A lot of people have had them to survive and finish quite, I'm not saying high up, but mid-table.
They've got good league experience in their squad as well. They've got Dominic Pody on as well. You know, a good player at league level. He always used to score against Shillingham. I hated him.
Let's have a look at these. Ebbsfleet are a money club.
They are, yeah.
They are, to be fair.
I understand that some part-time players a few years ago were getting paid $3,000 a week on part-time contracts.
Yeah. Hartlepool, a good win for them. I reckon they'll have a decent season, to be fair. They've made quite a few good signings. I had them to finish quite high up as well when I predicted. I think they'll at least get playoffs. I think they'll do quite well, Hartlepool. I do. A good win against Gateshead 2-1.
Dennis Kudryb, that's his name. I'll probably absolutely butcher that name. We'll go with it. I don't know. Shah, how would you pronounce that name?
Oh, man, it'd be like Kudryb.
Yeah, we're better. We're pretty much.
Oh, Kudryb. No, it'd be
we'll go with that.
Kudryb.
Yeah, we'll go with that. $3,000 a week at National League is disgusting. Yeah, even though Paul Mullen's getting $6,000 a week. You know, that's what I'm going to say.
It is. Oldham 5, Aldershot 1. Even though they're our rivals, you've got to give them credit, to be fair, haven't you, Oldham? Especially
it's funny, isn't it? It's funny, isn't it? Like Aldershot won first game of the season against Oxford, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And what I thought Aldershot invested really well in the squad. And they obviously got absolutely battered on Saturday. And they lost 2-0 against Ebbsfleet on Tuesday night. So they've come back down to earth, I think, Aldershot. And I thought it would be doing a lot better, but it's only 3 games in. So I keep saying doing a lot better. I feel bad for saying it because we're 3 games in.
It's mad, isn't it? It is a really random league, though, because like you said as well, and there's teams who will go and hammer someone one game and then the next game, obviously, they'll get beat to someone you don't expect. I know that's football, but the National League as well, there's a lot of really high-scoring games. It's mental. The
defending is a lot different, and that's what we said about Wrexham, Notts County. The defending is completely different, isn't it? In the National League, so there are always high-scoring games. So
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Oxford City 0, Rochdale 1. I will speak about us. Obviously, first win of the season. Sam's
in
coming at the
there.
right time. Jimmy
He's there waiting
McNulty.
for it. He's been sat there going, "I've got to put this in there as soon as she starts talking about it now."
I know. To be fair, it was one of them games where I wouldn't say I'd expect us to win, but I'd be seriously like, wow, if we didn't win it. Just the whole game in general, I thought we were better. Obviously, it was only 1-0. Our team are still gelling together, still very young. But Oxford don't look that much of a threat. I don't want to sound harsh, but I think they'll be one of them.
Even with Josh Parker, ex-Gills? Nah, you can't say that.
Honestly, I don't want it to come and like bite me on the backside or anything by saying this, but I do reckon they'll be one of the teams that will go down this season and they will struggle in this league. To be fair to us, our defence were really good. Ian Henderson, obviously scoring. He's Mr. Rochdale. If you want someone who will be, if you ever want to put money on someone to score for us, it is Ian Henderson. He's the man. We could have scored more. We didn't score more. He could have had a second as well, but he side-footed it. Unfortunately, it just went wide. But it was a good performance by Dale, but he didn't really challenge our goalkeeper. He didn't really have much to do. Our defence didn't really have much to do. But I think attacking-wise, we could have done better, if you know what I mean. We could have offered more, but I'm happy with a 1-0 win because, to be fair, the games that we shouldn't lose to, we are usually the teams that we do get beat, if you know what I mean. The teams that you shouldn't, obviously, we shouldn't let beat us are the ones that often we do lose against. So I'm happy with it. And Adam Clayton, who we signed from Bradford, he is a massive signing for us in that midfield. The experience and everything about him, he's fantastic. So, yeah, I think he's brilliant. So, good win for us. And Jimmy McNulty, he is the man. Obviously, Woking 2, Altrincham 3. Quite a weird result because I didn't expect that.
No, that's a bit of a shock, that one on the cards. Altrincham are always a club that's down there, aren't they? And they come straight back up again. They're a bit of a yo-yo side between the North and the National League, aren't they? So, yeah, it's a good result, then. Give them that.
Woking as well, a good team, a very good team. I think they did well last season as well. Did they finish 4th?
Yeah, they did. They finished in the playoffs last year, lost in the playoffs, didn't they? So,
yeah,
they're up there.
A really good team, and obviously I'll get onto the next Rochdale game versus Woking in a little bit. But they play some really good stuff. Yeah, I'm just going to brush over that one.
Never
might not even mention it. Never happened.
Yeah, just look at the league table.
Obviously, York City 0, Kidderminster 1. York City are struggling a bit, aren't they?
Yeah, and they've invested massively in the summer, haven't they?
I thought they did well, yeah.
And they got that Deepo Akinyemi as well, and I know Harry will be very happy being the Kidderminster Harrier fan. That is a big win away at York City as well. And they also lost first game of the season at Wilston, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
And then obviously on Tuesday night, they drew with Altrincham, so another good point for Altrincham as well. So I know we've rushed ahead a little bit, but York have had a tough start, but they've invested massively this summer, so they should. I don't think they should be challenging to go up, but they should be around about.
They should be decent, shouldn't they?
Yeah, because they've got Callum Harriott as well.
Yeah, they have.
He was a good league player. Obviously, he had a couple of years out, didn't he? Because he other reasons. I was going to go. We won't talk about it, but when it's for other reasons as well. So, but yeah, they've invested a lot in their squad, and sounds like a good player. Alex Woodyard as well, a good league player. I think they should. I think they'll do better.
Yeah. And obviously, the later kickoff for TV was Bromley 0, Barnet 2.
Yeah, Barnet are always around there, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Is it Darren Curry? No, it's not Darren Curry anymore. It's Brennan. Can't remember his first name. Who's now managing them? But they've had a good couple of seasons on them. They had a tough few seasons in the National League after coming out of the Football League, but they've started to improve now. They've started using a lot of their youth side and building, which they've always been good at. Barnet. They've always been good at building squads out of the teams. So
yeah, they have. Just a question here as well. I'm not too sure.
Don't talk about it. Just turn it off. It was linked to Gillingham, but you didn't want to.
Oh, was it? I genuinely didn't know. I'm sorry about that.
No, you're no joke. Basically, No, they said there was an interview. So basically, Gillingham did a open fan forum, and they asked, "Oh, what happened about Akinyemi?" And Andy Hessenthaler said, "Well, we didn't want to pay for 250 grand for a non-league player who had one good season in Scotland in the Championship." And then even Andy Hessenthaler went, "Which is basically non-league." You know, which literally, and then it was so funny because the director of the commercial, Joe Cobden, came out afterwards. Goes, "I didn't realise at this fan forum we were going to actually annoy a whole nation by saying that." Yeah, we moved away from didn't take him.
We'll just brush over these as well, National League results. So we've got AFC Fylde 2, Kidderminster 1. I think Fylde needed a win, didn't they? Obviously, even though they obviously lost the other game, they have been scoring. I've been scoring a bit. I think to be fair, I think Fylde will do all right this season.
Yeah, they're one of those ones. They're one of those clubs where somebody's bought them out and said we're going to be Football League in 5 years.
Yeah,
that was
definitely.
12 years ago.
Definitely.
I don't know. I don't know how they're going to get it. I mean, well, Harrier said there they obviously they lost. Harrier, they did not deserve it one bit. Well, I reckon they're happy with their 3 points.
I can't wait till we play Fylde. Obviously, I won't go into it properly on this podcast, but our ex-CEO, who obviously we had a lot of trouble with, he's now at AFC Fylde. So, yeah, it'll be quite a tasty match. A lot of our fans looking forward to it. And it's over Christmas as well. I think we've got them, I think it might be like Boxing Day or near to Boxing Day and then New Year as well. So it's quite close together. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. I know a lot of Rochdale fans are as well. Borehamwood 1, Solihull Moors 2.
Yeah, big win for Solihull Moors.
They're doing all right, aren't they?
Yeah, Borehamwood are a good side as well. Borehamwood, they're always up there, aren't they? And they've got a good manager in Luke. It is Luke Garrett, isn't it? I think it is Luke Garrett, yeah. Yeah, very good manager who's got a big future in the game. And I'm surprised, actually, he's not taking the step up, to be fair. He's probably been given the opportunity. I know when Gillingham were looking at the new manager after Steve Evans, they were looking at Luke Garrett, but they didn't take the risk.
Yeah, he was linked with Swindon a lot because he was at Swindon in his young days.
Oh, was he? Oh, okay. Didn't know that. Didn't realise.
Don't think he played much, but he was there as a youngster.
Bromley 1, Wealdstone 1.
Yeah, good point for Wealdstone. Probably another good side. Another South East England, Kent.
I've just noticed as well. I've not done the right colours for him because I was up doing him till whatever time. I've totally forgot this slide.
Oh,
so
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I just noticed. Dagenham 2, Gateshead 4.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to quickly talk about, isn't it? That's what I'm going to talk about. Where is it? Where have I put that game? Oh, it's here. Here we go. Yeah, cracking win for Gateshead. I've always had a bit of a soft spot for Gateshead. It's probably because obviously I play Football Manager on the side on Twitch. It's and I manage Gateshead for a little bit. But they've made some really good signings in this summer as well with Dananga. He got two on the night as well, and I'm really impressed with this signing. I rated this guy that they signed as well, Luke Hannon. A great signing, 29 years old. He was a bit of a prospector and was really good in the season. Cambridge United got promoted from League 2 to League 1. Then he moved to Culture and he didn't really get massive amount of game time at Culture, and it was a really good signing. Worked out a really good signing because he got 2 on the night as well against the Dagenham Redbridge side, who were up there challenging for playoffs as well. So it's a good win for Gateshead, and I know Mr. Luke will be very happy with that result, especially I think he said his first win of the season.
We've got a couple of questions here for you as well.
How does it always end up? Well, you have to, same as it ends up for him at most. You know what that sounds like? That sounds very similar to Pinky in the Brain, isn't it? What are we going to do tomorrow night? The same we do every night. Try to take over the world. That's what it is. But for me, it's we get sacked.
Oh, that made me laugh. We've got Dorking 2, Southend United 1, Eastleigh 3, Barnet 3, Ebbsfleet 2, Aldershot 0, Hartlepool with a win again, Hartlepool 3, Maidenhead 1, Oldham 1, FC Halifax Town 2. I was really shocked about this one. Oldham being at home as well.
Yeah, but Halifax are a big side, aren't they? They've always had. I know they're not like the last few seasons. They haven't done fantastic in the National League, but they're always a side that should be doing better. They always should be doing something. Appreciate your comments, Chris. That always has to do.
Got some more
But yeah,
comments here.
same thing we do every night, Piggy. Try to not get sacked. Exactly that. But yeah, no, I think Halifax are a side that they had a good couple of seasons, didn't they? And then they lost quite a few players to like another like Manchester clubs like Stockport, etc.
Yeah.
And you know they just never reinvested, didn't they? It's a bit of a funny club, isn't it? It's a bit of a middle of nowhere, isn't it? So
Yeah.
Fax is a
Flat cap derby, very good.
Oxford City 1, Chesterfield 2. I was expecting Chesterfield to win, to be fair, but Oxford City scoring a goal, so some positives out of it.
Yep.
Woking 3, Rochdale 2. What a frustrating match. They were absolutely shocking the first half. Obviously, Tyree Sinclair scored a really good goal. And then second half, we just didn't turn up. We kind of gifted it to them. There was a lot of aspects of last season and our difficulties last season that shone in this game. And yeah, to be fair, I don't think we deserve to lose, but I think we gifted them. They gifted us the first half. We gifted them the second half. So that's all I'm going to say about it. We need to improve, but at least we're scoring again. That's one thing, to be fair, that obviously we have struggled with previously, but I do think we need a striker, like
you need
a
Danny
strong.
Lloyd back.
Yeah, we need apparently, I don't know if this is true, but apparently people are saying that Jim McNulty offered him something and he didn't even get back to him, Danny Lloyd.
He probably doesn't want to go non-league. I don't mean to be rude, but he probably
Gutted.
doesn't. He's a good player. He's a really good player, and you know, I would happily have him back at Gillingham.
I love Danny Lloyd. Love Danny
What a player.
Lloyd.
He had a really good second half of the season with you last year.
Yeah, I just think we need a physical striker because I feel like we have got the product, but obviously we can't rely on Ian Henderson all the time. He's getting older now. He can't play, obviously, 2 games in a week as well. He struggles. Devante Rodney is poorly at the minute. I think he'll do well in that league, but I just think we need more physicality in the team. We have a midfield, and our midfield is quite strong now. We've got Harvey Gilmore, who was Halifax's captain last season. We've got obviously Adam Clayton, who I mentioned, who was at Bradford. We've got East now as well from Bradford. So I think our midfield is good. I just think we need a bit more up front because wingers and stuff as well. I think we've got some good people who create the chances. It's just obviously getting it in the back of the net where we're struggling at the minute. But yeah, I'm just frustrated with that game, to be fair. Danny Lloyd is big-headed, but why ignore when he's gone to no club? Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think he was linked with Barrow recently as well. I don't know how true that is.
He's not fit yet, though, is he? He's still injured, isn't he? I think I don't know if he's fully fit yet, so it's probably one of those ones where he's training with clubs and he might find.
If he does happen to come across this, though, I'd love you back at Dale, Danny. Give Jim McNulty a text back.
Oh yeah, look, there you go. This is what Jimmy does. Oh yeah, look, here we go. Got a text. Oh, it's Danny Lloyd. Oh, do one.
No, I don't think he'd say that though. I think he'd be like, do you know what? Come back. And obviously at the bottom, York City 2, Altrincham 2. Let's have a look at the table.
Can we just quickly say who plays for York City now? And I know a couple of people in the chat were like, he's named after a shop. Then John Lewis.
I thought it was it. Did he play for Bury?
Yeah, he did. He played for Bury, Newport.
My cousin are Bury fans.
Yeah, he's now playing at York City. He only played 9 minutes the other day, though.
What's Chris Stagnall up to these days? Do you know what, Chris Stagnall? Before the season started, Joey Thompson had a charity match raising money for I can't remember what charity it was. And Chris Stagnall actually played in that match as well. So that's the last time
bloke. I saw him. Horrible bloke. Horrible player he was. Hated him. That's another one.
I loved him. He used to always score. Him and Adam LaFondra up front. Those were the days. Those were the days. And just a table now. So Chesterfield are top, as we all expected, on 9 points. Barnet, Solihull Moors are second and third on 7 points. Southend, Hartlepool, Ebbsfleet and Halifax all have 6 points. Then we have Altrincham, Wealdstone on 5 points. Gateshead, Borehamwood, Woking, Maidenhead, Kidderminster and AFC Fylde all on 4 points. Eastleigh, Oldham, Rochdale, Dorking, Aldershot, we all have 3 points. And York City, Dagenham and Bromley all on 1 point. And then, unfortunately, at the bottom on 0 points is Oxford City. And obviously, we've kept everyone for so long now, so we'll just quickly fly through these fixtures for the Championship. So on Friday night, we have Leeds versus West Brom. I think that'll be quite a good game, to be fair. I don't know what to predict with that one. Plymouth Argyle, Southampton is the dinner time kickoff. Blackburn Rovers versus Hull City. We have Bristol City versus Birmingham City. Leicester versus Cardiff. Middlesbrough versus Huddersfield. QPR versus Ipswich Town. Sheffield Wednesday versus Preston North End. Stoke City versus Watford. Sunderland versus Rotherham United. Will Ant get there? Will be win for him. Swansea City versus Coventry City. Oh, I don't know what that is. I've
So
messed that one
who's
up.
playing all there?
I don't know. Someone find out ASAP.
I'll try and find out. So yeah, Swansea City versus Coventry. I know that. West Brom are playing.
You got them at Leeds. So
I've got them at the top.
in Swansea, Coventry. So that
Oh my!
I'd scrub that one.
Yeah,
Must
we'll
be
sort
somebody
it
else.
out. We'll pretend that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Leeds are playing West Brom.
There we go.
Yeah, don't know what that one was. Oh, might be Norwich Millwall.
Probably. Then on Saturday in League One at 12:30, we've got Bolton versus Wigan Athletic. I think that's got the potential to be quite a good game, I think. I do. Barnsley versus Oxford United. We have got Blackpool versus Leyton Orient. Cambridge United versus Bristol Rovers. Carlisle United versus Exeter City. Charlton Athletic versus Port Vale. Derby County versus Fleetwood Town. Northampton play Peterborough. Portsmouth versus Cheltenham Town. We've got Reading, Stevenage, Shrewsbury Town, Lincoln City, Wickham and Burton Albion. League Two. So we've got Accrington, Harrogate Town, Colchester United against MK Dons, Crawley Town against Gillingham.
For you Jews.
Big game there. Top of the table clash.
The League Two Titans. Come on. No.
Crewe Alexandra against Walsall, Doncaster Rovers and Notts County, Forest Green versus Newport County, Grimsby Town are against Mansfield Town, Morecambe are against Bradford City, Stockport are against Barrow. We have got Sutton against AFC Wimbledon, Tranmere Rovers have Salford City, and Wrexham are going to lose. What was it, Nick?
3-2. 3-2 to 10.
The only day I'm going to support Swindon. Come on, Nick. Get it.
Come on.
Points.
Let's have it.
And in the National League, we have Chesterfield versus Oldham Athletic. I think that will be a good game, to be fair. Oldham have made some good signings. Aldershot versus York City. We have Altrincham versus Boreham Wood. Barnet Woking, FC Halifax Town host Oxford City. Gateshead play Ebbsfleet. Kidderminster and Bromley. Maidenhead versus Dagenham and Redbridge. Rochdale host Eastleigh at Crown Oil Arena. Solihull Moors versus Dorking. Southend United Hartlepool, I think, has also got the potential to be quite a good game.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, and Wealdstone versus AFC Fylde. And we've done it.
Ooh.
Double game weeks are a killer.
It's funny how we sat there at the beginning of the season and said, yeah, we're aiming for about an hour and 20 minutes.
I know.
And the first two shows we've done together, they've both been 2 hours, 20 minutes.
I know. But to be fair, they have been a preview and they've been a double game week.
Yeah, exactly. No, I get that. I prime
So we're doing all right. But I just want to thank everyone in the chat, obviously, for your input. And thank you for staying with us for the full 2 hours, 20 minutes. So we'll go around the room now. Scoops, if people want to know what you do, where they can find you, let us know.
So you can usually find me on Twitter, where you can find me at Scoops FM. You can also find me on Twitch, Scoops FM as well, Consistent, Mr. Consistent, where I stream Football Manager and also just the tunes, talk about football in general. And I'll be live in about 10 minutes' time with some late night tunes, so I'll see you.
Very late night. You didn't expect it to be this late, did you?
Yeah, no, we're all right.
And Nick, where can we find you?
Yeah, on Twitter, Ocus_road, and I'm also on the Fools Rushing podcast, which we do every Monday and Friday, 9 o'clock live. So if you want some more Swindon content, that's the place to be.
And if anybody wants to find me, I don't know why they would, because I just blab on, as you all know. 2 hours, 20 minutes. But if you do, I am on all socials. I am SharXRAFC. You can find me on the Absolute Football podcast, whether it be the Premier League, whether it be this lower league. And you can find the Absolute Podcast socials. On Twitter, we are Absolute Ball Pod. TikTok, we are Absolute Football Pod. Instagram and Threads, we are Absolute Football Podcast _. And Facebook, we have an Absolute Football Podcast. Damn you, Josh. That is so confusing. And also as well, I think it's next Friday, we have a special episode recording with Matt Jarvis. I just want to say he's one of the nicest guys in football that you'll ever speak to. He's so humble, and just his interview and just everything he was talking about, his career, life after football, is just such a great guy. So if you can, please check that out. And we'll be back next week with the Absolutely Lower League. Thank you all again for tuning in, and ta-ta for now.
See you later.